SRS runway, auto thrust is loose. 80 knots, thrust set. 5500. 31. Rotate.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on? I'm getting really excited because I'm not seeing any frame drops right now. We're going to keep our fingers crossed. Let's get this flight going today. Welcome back for attempt number 2 as we hit another live stream here going from Fort Lauderdale, Florida up to Atlanta, Georgia, currently where V1 HQ number 2 is currently located. Everything's looking good on your end, Kaz. Awesome. I did see your message up there. I did update the fly-by-wire prior to this stream, so we've got that going for us. The sim is updated. The fly-by-wire is updated. I want to see what this VNAV is all about. I'm running some testing settings. So to recap, I know I got about 87 people here. I appreciate you all tuning in. That must mean you must have notifications or you're following along in the Discord. So for the next couple of streams, I'm not going to be tagging any alerts in the Discord. Basically, I'm just going to go live when I think I can get a good enough connection to go live. And I'm going to do this until I can come up with a consistent basis on when I cannot stream. I think it's more so of a limitation on usage of the current internet solution. Now, if I can find a way around it, there is another option for another provider that I'm going to look into as well. Maybe the last time we tried to stream on Saturday, it was a fluke and there was an issue, so who knows? I've narrowed the problems down to the internet specifically. It's not my computer, it's not the Streamlabs, it's not the settings. So at least we know what the problem is. We're going to do our best to improvise, adapt, and overcome. So thank you all for tuning in with me and supporting me on this venture. We're going to see if we can get our first live stream, actually it'll be our second live stream now, back full flight, vSpirit operations going up to Atlanta. So who's ready to do this? Christy, good to see you, man. Always a pleasure. Chaos in the chat. Lazaros, Jan, Tiger Dude 34. 8535, Zach Lewine, always a pleasure, welcome. Giuliano D. Ramadi, Jeremy Harvey's in the house, man, good to see you, I hope you are well. Digital Merc, man, that was quite the stream last night with XP72, wasn't it, man? It was getting out of control. That was a lot of fun. Good to see you, Digital Merc. Felix Almonte, Aaron is in the house. Daviator, Bill Barrett, Syrup, and Brad K, Kevin Thomas, Al W, and Scott, all in the house. Good to see y'all. Man, I tell you one thing, though. So I'm having... It's just like issue after issue. So now my mouse is sticking, and I tried changing it to my old mouse, but then the mouse wouldn't register the left mouse click instead of the right. So it's just... So now I just dragged. If I accidentally ban you from the chat, I'm sorry, because I clicked over on the chat box and I don't know, my mouse is sticking, so it's causing issues. But we're gonna do it. Dougal, good to see you lurking, but watching with dinner. Hey, Dougal, that's the best way to do it. Welcome aboard, man. Enjoy your meal. Tell Mrs. McTavish I said hello and send my regards to everybody, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Welcome. All right, guys. One thing I will show you here too. I keep saying one thing, but I'm gonna pull up VAMPSys for you. Or, nope, I can't do that because my freaking mouse is stuck. There we go. Boom. Pegasus. Let's pull up the old Pegasus for vSpirit before we get our operation going here. This keeps happening to me now. Look, I keep going to hit start flight, and I get incorrect situation. So what is up with that? I am in Fort Lauderdale. We're sitting at Fort Lauderdale. We're going to Atlanta. We're in the right airplane. This route doesn't look correct, though, and I've refreshed. I've restarted. No, it is a correct route. It's a Stormy, except we're on the Frisbee too. So there's always something. But yeah, it's always something, AJ, man. It's always something. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I got a sticky mouse and I got Pegasus that doesn't want to start. So buys thousands of dollars worth of flight sim gear, doesn't buy $100 good quality mouse. Christy, I had a good quality mouse, but man, I've been moving around the country. It's just got I don't know, man. I don't know. Something happened. So I go to booking. I even refresh this here. Is it something in the airplane that we're not doing correctly? Is it not picking up where we are in the airplane? I mean, I tell you what, let's fire up the airplane. Let me turn up the sim sounds. That is one thing I need y'all's help today on this stream is how to revamp all of the sound settings. I try to get them back as best I could, but I'm going to need y'all to make sure the sounds are good. What was that? That didn't sound good. Okay, interesting. Had a little bug there with that. I don't know if that was my mouse or the... Have I tried the old restart the app? Yeah, I restarted the app. Do I have FSUIPC running? Christy, I believe I do because I have Fly Live up and running. If you can see Fly Live up there, then FSUIPC is running. I only get that message if my engines are running. Interesting. Let me do a once over here. How about I reset the parking brake? We'll go off. We'll do this. Engine masters are off, so that's fine. We're in the right position. We are in Fort Lauderdale. I tell you what, I'll initialize the FMS, and then we'll do it. Oh, this mouse is gonna drive me nuts. If it's not, look at this. So now I'm stuck at this is gonna be absolute. This is gonna be. I swear, man. Y'all better be smashing that like button because I'm trying. I've never had so many obstacles to just do something that I'm passionate about. I just want to stream. I just want to sim, bring you guys content. And if it's not the internet, it's the computer. If it's not the computer, it's a sim. If it's not the sim, it's an app. If it's not an app, it's now my mouse. Goodness me. Al W, good to see you. Thank you for the membership chat there. 18 months of support, dude. I appreciate that. Have a great stream. Smash that like button, y'all. That's right, Al W. We only got 134 watching. That's pretty darn good because I have no mentions, no notifications going out. So you guys are hardcore. Thank you for supporting me through these adventures. The new FSUIPC needs to be connected. Oh. So how does one go about doing that? The new FSUIPC needs to be connected. So stand by. Let me dig down that rabbit hole here real quick. Welcome to FSUIPC. It is connected. We are connected. And so it's not that. DM's waiting for me after stream. Dougal, I will check them out, my friend. Thank you. I use FSUIPC in the startup tray, correct. I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna do AOC. We're gonna do initialization. I don't think I have to do this anymore in the fly-by-wire, right? I forget. Let's go ahead and do that anyway. It's Wednesday for me. It's Wednesday? All right. I guess all the gremlins are in Atlanta. Should have stayed in Texas. Brett, tell you what, man. It's making it hard to enjoy Georgia. It's making it hard. It's making it hard, man. I do miss Texas. All right. We are initialized. I'm going to go back to the init page here. We'll do a request init like so. I'm going to go ahead and turn up some brightness in here just because of the way the shadows are. We'll go up. We'll do our overhead flow. Ground control is on. Cruise supply on. We'll get our 1, 2, and 3. That goes into the captain position, but okay, we'll do that. So something is definitely buggy with the mouse. Awesome. What else could go wrong? I guess I'll use the mouse wheel scroll today. As we go through our flows here up the overhead, we'll do a fire test on engine 1, fire test on engine 2. Now, I don't know if that's my mouse because I'm literally just pressing it down. I don't know. Something is weird. Something is weird. Up the right-hand side, everything else looks good there. Okay, so we're initialized. We're Fort Lauderdale to Atlanta with an alternate of HSV. I should know that. We need to turn up some integral lighting down here for sure. Let's turn this sucker up. And one last time, I'm going to try to initialize Pegasus here. I'll even do a refresh, and we'll start flight. Incorrect situation. Huh. We have a stuck tower stature emergency. V1 tower, we have a stuck mouse. Hey, it wouldn't be the first time I've had a stuck mic. Stuck mic, I've had that. What else do we have? We had a stuck mic and with something else that happened. Something with one of our radios. Huntsville, thank you. Chaos. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know. Same issue. All right, this is the last thing here, and then we're just going to go ahead and get on with it. I'm gonna close this off. You're going to see me actually exit the program. I'm going to re-dispatch this flight. So I'm going to cancel the flight in vSpirit dashboard. I'm going to re-dispatch it, and then we'll try it. If it doesn't work, that's fine. We'll just pretend we'll still do vSpirit SOPs, and we'll do our thing. So let's do this. From Fort Lauderdale, we're going to Atlanta, Georgia, and I'll filter by A20 November, and I'm going to book the flight, redispatch through VAMPSys. Doing it right now. I'm at work in the office day. I have an incorrect situation, too. Yeah, because you're at work, my friend. All right, we'll do the same flight number. We're going to take Spirit Wings 226. We're going to be on any A320 Neo. We will be online VATSIM. Estimated departure time, let's see, it is 1709Z. Let's make it 1720Z, just so Pede Monitor doesn't get mad at me here. Hopefully we can have an on-time departure. I'm going to dispatch without sim brief because I've already got the sim brief done. All right, that is set. I've already sent it. We don't need to send it to VATSIM. We already have a flight plan, so we are good to go in VAMPSys. So now I'm going to relaunch the app, and here we go. Mr. Dog, I see you, man. I'm working through multiple things here, my friend. All right, we are vSpirit Ops booking. There we are. Manual route planning, perfect. So it's all updated. Start flight. Okay, so something is bugged out with that. That sucks. That's okay. We will overcome that issue. Now, what is this? I'm going to hide this. Oh, that's I don't need that. All right, that's fine. We'll go without it. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. We're just going to have a nice stream here with vSpirit anyway. So let's go ahead. We've already got our flight plan in the box. Let's kind of reconnect where we are. Let's pull some ATIS information over here. So these are still linked, right? So we'll go McDo. Let's get our ATIS in here. We'll go ATC menu. Let's go. Nope, that's not it. It's been a while. ATSU. AOC. Weather request, or we'll do ATIS. Miami's on. Let's try ATIS. Fort Lauderdale. Departure. Oh, I see. Departure Fort Lauderdale. We'll send that. We'll see if it works. If y'all kept up with me on the shorts videos, you'll see that one of my last flights, they took my printer away from me. I was very, very disappointed. You don't realize how well you have it until your printer goes away, and then you have to actually write everything down again. Let's see if it actually came through on the received messages, because I had it linked to McDo. ATIS from Lauderdale, no digital ATIS available. I guess that's Miami ATIS online, so that would make sense. That's my bad. Let's just do this. Fort Lauderdale, Atlanta, and the alternate. We'll send it off. We'll get that. While we're waiting here on the ground, I guarantee you it's going to start to get hot in the cabin, 30°C. So let's go ahead and just crank that APU. If worse comes to worse, I'll just approve a PIREP claim. There you go, Captain Tom. Appreciate you, man. Let's go ahead and fire up the APU. Let's take a listen outside. Bump up the sounds a little bit.
Traffic, Sterling 98 is on a left face, 5 miles.
Chaos says, I specifically worked so the automated gate uplink works. Man, Chaos, I'm sorry, dude. Do you think, could it be a scenery issue since I'm at G10? I mean, G10 is a Spirit gate. There's actually a nice coffee, can't remember the name of it, like Grounds or Grinds or Coffee and Grounds, something, I don't know. There's a coffee spot over here in the Gulf Concourse. I'll try it after we push back too, Chaos. I'll push back, set the brake, see if I can connect from that point. If I can't, we'll just roll without it. Does the overlay have our proper departure and arrival? Fort Lauderdale, Atlanta, it should have it, right, with our Spirit 226? Because that tells me that because that will not work if FSUIPC is not working. FSUIPC shows connected. Fly Live up here on the overlay shows connected that it is working. So maybe I need to update Pegasus. Could that be a thing? Flame said some gates have issues, so very possible. I will check it again when we push back. Let's see. Oh no, let's go receive messages. These are all of our METARs, and we'll go ahead and print them right now. We'll put them up here, and I like doing the fly-by-wire thing. So the first thing we need to do is refuel real time, download from SimBrief 12.4. Let's go ahead and start that. Actually, I need to call the fuel truck, right? Because I know I like the integration. It's been a while though since I've flown this. So let's go ahead and request refueling from here. Or do I request refueling? I'm going to request refueling from here. All right, refueling is going to show up. I guess we can... Perfect. We're not going to load until the aircraft arrives. We won't do any of that. But what we will do is let's get some fresh catering on here. I heard Spirit's got some new snack boxes, so we want to make sure we load up. We'll go ahead and get catering service and LSG. Sounds good to me. Will you do any GA streams in the future? Furry MLG, welcome back. I know I banned you. I probably should ban you right now just because of what you posted with your multiple accounts after the banning. Very mature of you. Unlike me to give anybody a second chance when it comes to this nonsense. So you're not banned right now, but you're on very thin ice as far as banning that account as well from the live stream. But do I do any GA streams in the future? What's going to happen today is after this stream completes, I'm probably going to do a members only stream, and I'm going to bump up the bit rate, and I'm also going to bump up the frames that I am basically my encoder is using. I want to see if it taxes the internet anymore, because I've reduced my bit rate a little bit more on this stream. So hopefully the quality is still good for you guys. If you're seeing quality issues in the stream, let me know. That's the only way I can really tell when you're watching it live if it's not very crisp or if it's blurring out on you. And Chaos, yes. So what I was going to do is going to up the bit rate, up the resolution a little bit, or sorry, the frames, and then we're going to fly the new updated Transall C160 as a GA flight. So that's what we're going to do after this stream. If everything goes well on this one. If the stream falls apart mid-flight, I'm probably just going to rage quit, get another provider in here, and try another option. Because I'll tell you right now, there is nothing more disheartening from like a streamer standpoint of getting everybody hyped up and ready for a flight and then hitting the go live button and watch it just tank and not be able to do it. So that's kind of why I'm not doing the notification push right now, because Maybe you don't believe me, but I'm telling you, it really does. It makes me very, very sad when that happens. So, all right, I was talking there. I kind of missed. Are we good to go with the fuel from the iPad now? Do I hit start now? I can't remember what they said. Velociraptor, good to see you, man.
Hello V1. What do the sliders do located next to the overhead panel? Not all A320s have them. Some have none. Others one. Others two. Are they some sort of
Oh.
control? FBW has none, but the Phoenix
Yeah, up here.
300.
Yeah. I'm going to get right to that, Danland. Let me go ahead and I'm going to set this to desired fuel quantity. It's green, so we can click it. We're going to start fueling. Yes, Dan, that's exactly what that is. It is their vents, their cockpit air ventilation. So there's a couple right above the window. There's one down by your feet, and then there's actually one kind of back, like where I sit, back off my left shoulder. And then there's actually one above my left shoulder. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe there's a total of 4 personal vents around you, and then there's 2 more vents on the overhead, on the way back of the overhead, and then the first officer has the same on his side. Yes, that's what those are for. They are ventilation. And someone once told me the best way to control cockpit temperature is to have all the vents open, even in the wintertime. And I used to fall victim to this when I was an FO and I was cold. I would close all my vents, and I didn't want to crank up the heat because I don't want to be that guy. So I would just close all my vents, but I would get colder because you have to think that the warm air is still coming in through those vents. So it's important that you run those vents open, and I've been doing that ever since I learned that little tidbit, and it really makes the cabin, or excuse me, not the cabin, the cockpit air control much more controllable, if that makes sense, with the vents open. Dimitri is in the house. Good to see you, man. Welcome. I enjoy your streams even if a flight doesn't happen. Lay the house RM. Well, thank you. I appreciate the support, man. Welcome. We're just watching our fueling here. We got our catering trucks. As soon as we're done, we'll start boarding, and then we'll get then we'll finish up the flight plan. We only have to put in the departure and the arrival, and then we're pretty much ready to go. We'll start boarding passengers, and we'll get out of here. But I'm just happy that our stream is holding. It's good to be back. It's good to talk with you guys in chat. Good to see y'all. For the plans, are you for the flight plans? Are you planning them how you do it in real life, SimBrief, or another app? And if there's another app, how do you do it in real life? What's app? How do you do it? So, Mr. Dog, I use almost exclusively SimBrief for flight planning. I wasn't on the SimBrief game for a while until, I don't know, maybe a couple of years ago, and it just makes it so much easier. So SimBrief is what I use exclusively. If I'm running a VA, like we're doing a VA stream today with vSpirit, or you're doing VAAL, what they do is they have their own, you can dispatch through SimBrief, and it basically makes everything very streamlined for you. So that's what I recommend. I don't know, I think there's a few other tools out there that can get a little bit more hardcore, but SimBrief is what I use, and it works just fine. Let's go Jets, yeah. GSX fuel truck's actually showing how much is fueled. I know, look at that. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? You can actually see that. All right, looks like we got our new snack boxes on board, so that's good. Can you point the vents in directions? No, Jeremy. So the vents that we were talking about, that Dan was talking about with the sliding knob, they are basically static, and I'll show you. Let me see. I don't know if it's modeled here or not. This is right here. So these little holes right here. So this is a vent, and there's a slider right here. So this is the back left one. So it basically controls how much air is going to be blowing out of this one. Then there's one down by your feet. That's probably hard to see, but this is a vent control right here. So you could slide this one. And then there's one more up here somewhere. It's like right back here, I think. And it basically blows down this window. So you cannot control those, Jeremy. The only ones you can control are the gaspers, which are right here. So you can control these, and then there are 2 way back here. These are also gasper vents right here. And this is a reading light. That's a reading light. So you can control those. I think, yeah, this is an overhead light right there. So you can control those, but the other ones that are stationary you can't control. Meanwhile, we turned the APU on, never turned the bleed on, so the flight attendants are probably not too happy. All right, fueling left to go. We're almost there, right? Waiting on 12.4. Actually, we got 12.4 on board. We're done. I'm going to leave the condition page up. We'll clear that. And we are pretty much aligned. What other messages do we have here? Let's go Atsu. Let's check our received messages, and then we'll start boarding. Oh, it's because I didn't view it. So Return, done. That should have got them all. Yep, all our received messages are done. So there we go. We'll go back to initialization. There's us, Spirit Wings 226. As far as departure and arrivals go, let's take a look here. Fort Lauderdale 000. So we're going to depart 10 right. That'll make it easy. We'll go off the ski slope 10 right, and we're on the Frisbee departure procedure. Frisbee 2. And we're going out to Stormy transition. We'll insert that. And then coming into ATL, they are landing 278.8, so they'd be doing westbound stuff. So that would be 27s and 26s. Now, this is a tip. Not a tip, but, I mean, well, it could be a tip for flight sim. I'm going to go ahead and start the boarding process because that will take a while as well. So we'll go ahead and request boarding. So on your charts, now this is something you should always look for. Whether you're going to Atlanta or any large airport, when you're on an arrival, let's put this in the daytime mode. And I probably went over this before, and I actually pinned it prior to going live. So we'll go pin charts. We're on the Jedi 3 arrival. You always want to double check the notes up here. Yes, I want to board both. So if I zoom out here, it's going to have a couple of stipulations on this approach, or arrival, I should say. And a lot of times they will tell you which runway to select, because the transitions, if you look here, the transitions for this arrival, the Jedi arrival, are dependent upon the runway selection. So you could go in there and select the wrong runway, and then, you know, now you're flying in the wrong spot. So unless ATC tells you otherwise, but this star tells us select runway 28 and the Melnham transition. All right, so we're going to have to select 28, even though I don't necessarily want to land on 28 because that's the longest taxi. But that's what the star says. That's what we're going to plan for laterally. So always double check when you're loading in a star. Make sure there's no runway specific there, especially if you're on a network, because the controller may expect you to fly a certain transition that you're not flying if you just want to pick a runway that you want to land on. So Jedi 3, and it was the Jedi 3 Melnham transition, and then we have to actually look at the approach for the approach transition. So runway 28, come all the way down here, 26, 27, runway 28 ILS. Is it Lars? So Perman, Terry would be from where we're coming in from. I'm going to pin this while we're at it. So let me just double check the star, and I'll show you what I do in real life. Yeah, Perman. You see Perman there? Yeah, we're going to put approach via Perman, because that was on the star. So ILS 28 via the instruction, ILS 28 via Perman transition on the Jedi 3 with the transition of Melnham, which is also indicated on that note on the star. So now you have done what you're supposed to do. If ATC changes it, then that's on them. But that's what they're expecting you to fly. So that's done. Secondaries, we're going to skip that, not modeled. RadNav, progress page, we'll put Fort Lauderdale in there right now. Put FLL. Perf page, we'll do this after, I forget. Been a while. Forget how we do that. We'll do that after loading. The init B page, we do that after loading, but we have our fuel on board, 12.4. Now we can go up here. We make sure it is verified in the tanks on balance, so that's good. So let's put 12.4 here. With that done, part of our flow, don't do one without doing the other. It's got to be my mouse. All right, fuel tank pumps are on. We'll go ahead and disconnect from external power. Jeez, that sound makes me stressed out, because when that happens in the real airplane, you're just breaking stuff. All right, so that is done. We'll hit the magic mirror F key, and then we can just sit here and chill for a minute. We don't have any ATC online. We filed 340, so we'll put 340 in at the top altitude. Done ski, and we are boarding. we're waiting for our zero fuel weight to be done towards the end. Oh, Chaos did mention the winds. So let's go back here. Winds and temps. Wind request. Wow, I didn't know it would actually do that. That's pretty sweet.
Follow up on my previous question. If in theory all the vents were in the closed position, how would the cockpit maintain airflow and therefore temperature regulation? Are there fixed ones which can't be closed or don't they close fully?
Dan Lynn, so good, thank you for the support, man. I appreciate you. If all the vents are in the closed position, it will still, so here's the thing, even though they're closed, they'll still leak air out. And if you close those vents that have the valve to open and close those sliders, then your gaspers are just going to be coming at a higher velocity. If you close all the gaspers and the side vents, you're going to get very cold, number one, but it's still going to leak out enough to still put air into the cockpit, because even when those sliders, you slide them to close, it's more like you're reducing the flow by 80% because it's not that efficient, especially on newer airplanes or on older airplanes. On newer airplanes, they're much better. You close the valve, for the most part, it keeps it shut, but it's not like a 100% air sealed, oh, no air, no air. It tends to just still kind of ooze out of there even with them in the closed position. But, I mean, for the most part, no one really messes with them. You kind of set them and forget them, unless you have one that's extra strong, or what I notice sometimes, you get in the airplane and as soon as you turn on the APU bleed, it's just really, 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 really loud. You probably have some vents closed and it's all being forced out of one vent that's still open. So that's when you go around and open up the side one. And that typically happens mostly from right here when this one's closed. So I close this one if I have food. Let's say I got a sandwich or something. I'll put it here or put it in this little thing here. I don't want cold air blowing on it. So I close this one. And when you close this one, almost instantly, these vents up here just start going because it's just shoving all that air out these gaspers up top. So if you start the airplane and it's automatically loud, you just open this vent right here, and that kind of reduces the noise because it's got more air. It's got more areas to disperse that airflow from the pack. But are there fixed ones which cannot be closed so they don't close fully? Yes, that kind of answer. I hope that kind of answered your question, Dan. Even if you close them all, you're still going to get air going in there, and then if not, it's just going to leak up through the avionics bay anyway. So either way. Thank you for the support, man. Captain Tom says, give me one reason why I shouldn't be. Oh, yeah, we're still at this. Thanks, Dougal. Yeah. It's taking a minute to get there. Which server am I flying on? Just on Vatson, man. Just on Vatson. Trying to get caught back up with the chat, guys. Sorry about that. We got 53 passengers on board already. We'll just go ahead and watch these guys do their thing. They're doing a nice loading here. Watch that. Jeremy says, I've been in the flight deck, and sometimes the air actually smells coming out of the vents because you can smell the plastic in the ducts. Oh, yeah, especially when you start getting in hot, humid climates. Going down South America, Mexico, Atlanta, Florida. You ever seen it, Jeremy, where the cabin is just, it's fog? It's not smoke. It looks like smoke, but it's just the condensed air just completely billowing that white fog into the cabin. Yeah, it's kind of gross. I don't know if you guys want to know what that smell really is, but it's mostly the combination between the air and dust, and 90% or like 95% of all dust on commercial aircraft is actually human skin. So pretty nasty. Pretty nasty. Thug Duck reminds me of I might have to tell that joke. Anyway, Thug Duck, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. Is quality of life at a ULCC better than legacy, assuming money isn't a factor? I'm thinking of becoming a Frontier cadet to go straight to the 320 after CFI. Thug Duck, quality of life is purely dependent upon the contract that the pilots are operating under. I'm going to try not to be biased here, but I will tell you right now, the best quality of life contract in the continental United States is the Spirit Airlines that we're flying under right now on this vSpirit flight. What Spirit pilots can do to their schedule after an award is pretty much not common anywhere else. So whether that's dropping their whole flight schedule down to zero and just picking up overtime when they want to, the ability to trade and swap trips at their leisure, there's a lot that goes into that. But that comes at what? They're also, if you look at pay rates across the industry, it's also different. It's also a little bit different. So I wouldn't look at it as quality of life at a ULCC better than a legacy. You have to look at each airline individually, and you got to look at each contract individually. Don't put a label on it, because you're absolutely right. Once you get into the industry or get into the airline, it's the same job, different paint job on all the airlines. You're all doing the same thing. It's just a different paint job outside. So make sure that you go to a place that, number one, has a base where you want to live. That's huge. Number two, make sure that the contract that they have is something that you are, good with. There's Air Transit? Is it Air Transit? No, WestJet. I can't. One of the Canadian operators up there, they're like ready to go on strike. They're not, because the negotiations are stalled and the company is just trying to shaft them. United, same thing. They had a massive basic strike day a couple days ago, because they want better quality of life improvements to their contract. American, same deal. They're in negotiations, and the last deal that was passed through, they didn't even touch it because it didn't have the quality of life improvements that you're talking about. So it's very dependent upon each pilot and what you want to accomplish in your career, and so that will let that factor drive you to where you want to go. Hope that answers your question. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Love the sound of that hydraulic pump picking on there. And thank you again, Thug Duck. And Dan Lynn, $5 bank angle check, man. I appreciate that. Says, thanks for taking the time to answer my question. Dan Lynn, hey, I am just absolutely honored to be able to answer questions today. I love live streaming to you guys because of the live interaction and the questions and the topics and conversations we get into. I've started this channel making videos, which, yeah, it's fun to do videos, stuff, pre-recorded stuff too, but the live interaction is what I absolutely love with y'all. So I'm so happy to be able to be live again with you, and thank y'all for the support throughout my absence. So that's what I hear. I know I don't get to every question. I try to, I really do, but there's questions that I miss, and it's nothing personal, unless you're MLG who just got banned. So thank you, Captain Tom. Aaron says, I thought that dust skin thing was debunked. Always sounded a bit wrong. Aaron, so I thought so too, but I'm going to have to find the video on YouTube, man. I watched a video on YouTube not too long ago that talked about, we're almost done here, only about 40 more people to go. It talked about that very thing, and they said it was skin. So it could be, it could not be. So, a little funny joke here. I was flying with the FO who one of his good friends was jump seating. He was doing an observation flight. So I was flying with a brand new FO, and there was a observation jump seater, which is something that happens when you get hired at the airline, depending on your airline's procedures. But before they go onto the line and actually do their own flight training on the line, they do a couple observations flights. So they sit in the jump seat, they see how it's done, and yeah, they'll just say, hey, why don't you run the box or load up the box for us at the gate here? That way when you get out on the line for yourself, you kind of have some experience. So it's very common to have observation guys in the jump seat, and these two guys were friends. Young, I want to say kids, but young gentlemen, very excited, very new to the airline, and I walked down to the cockpit. And he's like, hey, Cap, check this out. And he would flick the seat, and it would just poof up with smoke. We were in an old raggedy 319. And I'm like, hey, you don't want to be doing that. He's like, that's what we call sack dust. It's literally human skin dust, and because it's in the seat, we call it sack dust. Probably inappropriate. It was a lot more funny when we were actually there, but I was like, you guys got to stop doing that. I immediately covered my coffee because I did not want that stuff floating around into my coffee lid, which I'm sure it's inevitable, but yeesh. It is WestJet in Canada that's on strike. Nice. My friend is applying for a new flight attendant job from his previous carrier, and apparently says that Delta has no union and he won't work for them. Jeremy, I know they're working hard on getting a union. I think they actually are getting a flight attendant unit, Jeremy. There's a gentleman that watches Roscoe, where he goes by FBW here in the chat and in the Discord, and he is actually a union, he's one of the union guys, and he's working on getting representation for Delta flight attendants. But yes, up until very recently, they've had no union protection for flight attendants. Chaos, I will check. Let me check the EFB. I hope it is. Payload. No, it is not. RIP, because I didn't. Well, it is now. Chaos. All right, I messed that up, Chaos. My bad. I was supposed to do that prior to, right? Sorry, man. Thank you for hitting me on it. It's still loading now. Look at that, though. See, it basically just loaded everybody that we had, and it's still... Oh, cool. So it's still doing it in real time, it looks like. Make sure you do that beforehand. Thank you, Chaos. Only 3 more passengers to go. We're almost fully loaded up. Taxi is going to be super easy. We're going to expect 10 right. Taxi out off the ski jump. We're doing a Toga takeoff. We'll run our perf data after our initial stuff is done. And we'll try to launch Pegasus right after we push back from the gate. Boarding completed. All right, so I'm going to come down here. We're going to do this. Boom. That is done. We'll set that here. And... we'll do a flap 1. Actually, I'll tell you what. Let's do flap 2 today. 126. 130. Nope. Can't do that. I was just wondering if there was a V1 speed auto-populated. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do 126, 126, 130. V1 cannot be higher than VR. Obviously. V1, well, if it is, it's wrong. 126, 26, 30, that's fine. Flaps 2, we're doing a Toga takeoff. 3070 on the acceleration altitude. If we lose an engine straight out over the water, let's just update our barrows. 3001 is set. Everything is good. So let's prepare for pushback and departure and get out of here. Departure clearance requested. Is there a reason to line the aviators left, right, and center? Just because that's how they're labeled, 1, 2, and 3. I mean, there's nothing wrong with going left to right, but how are numericals counted? It's 1, 2, 3, right? It's not 1, 3, 2. So why wouldn't you just go 1, 2, and 3? I don't know. I figured if Airbus wanted 1, 2, and 3, well, maybe not because it's more position in the cockpit. So captains, first officers, backup. So I don't know. I always figure it literally has no impact on the operation of the system, but how do you count? Do you count 1, 3, 2, or do you count 1, 2, 3? So for that reason, we go 1, 2, 3. If you go V1, VR, V2, it populated correctly. Okay. Thank you, Chaos. Good to know. All right, so departure checks completed. They're good. Doors are closed. Beacon light is on. Before start checklist.
Flight attendants, arm doors, and cross-check.
We need to go ahead and close this. Love that. Alfie Douglas, thank you for the support, man. Good to see you back in the sim. Hope you and the family are doing good. Alfie, man, it's good to be back, man. Thank you for the support. All right, so that's on. We're locking gear, so we're just about ready to go. We should be on 22.8 for Unicom, which we are. Lauderdale traffic, Spirit Wings 226 pushing off G10. Lauderdale. Oh, Fort Lauderdale traffic just tuned in. Or Fort Lauderdale Tower just tuned in. 19.3. I need to go nose left, tail right. Stand by. 19.3 is up. All right, cockpit to ground. You ready for brakes release? Yes, Captain, we're ready. Brakes release, clear to push. Lofterdale, as Carter would say. Exactly, Christy. Oh, I miss Carter. Hope he's all right. Information Alpha, what we have here in Lauderdale. Let's call up the tower and see what's going on here, see if they're going to give us a clearance. This is the Latin VFR Lauderdale. Yes, it is. And we're not going to start engines until pushback is complete because we don't want any interruptions on the Boris sound set.
All exits are clearly marked to the side overhead. If necessary, floor level lighting will illuminate.
I do like the Latin VFR because they're one of the few that have this alleyway correctly. And you see how loud it is in the cabin, but you don't hear that attendant voice in the cockpit because the door is shut. Pretty cool. Giuliano Ramondi, good to see you, man. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate the 35,000 IDRs. Thank you so much for the support. Which approach do you prefer, ILS or RNAV? I prefer ILS because it's the most common. It's what we do mostly. I have no qualms against RNAV, though. I mean, it is literally, it's kind of like asking, do I have a preference between my left eye or my right? Well, that's not true. You could have right eye as dominant. But maybe it's like asking, which eye do you want to lose, your left eye or your right eye? I don't want to lose either of them equally. But my right eye is dominant, so ILS is dominant, but I'm just as comfortable with RNAV. Thank you for the support, man. ILS can get you down lower, too. That's the thing. That's another reason why we always set up for the ILS, because it's going to get you to the lowest minimum. So if there is a stray cloud that blows across the final approach course, and it just happens to be at 200 feet or 300 feet, your ILS is going to get you below that. Whereas if you just plan for the RNAV because you wanted to, your minimum may be 500, and now you can't see the runway, so you got to go around. Speaking of, I did a go around yesterday, 2 days ago. We'll talk about that in cruise. That was a little interesting. All right, I'm going to call tower first before we start engines. Lauderdale Tower, good afternoon. Spirit Wings 226. We just pushed off G10. We haven't started up yet. We got information Alpha looking to get clearance to Atlanta.
Spirit Wings 226 for Lauderdale Tower. Clear Atlanta International Airport, rather for P2 departure. Mid transition filed. Maintain 4,000. Expect 32360 once we have departure. Departure's offline, squawk 1114.
Cleared to Atlanta, Frisbee 2, Smitty transition as filed 4,360 and 10. Departure is offline, squawking 1114 for Spirit Wings 226.
Spirit Wings 226, read back correct. Expect run 10 left. Correction 10 right.
We'll expect 10 right, Spirit Wings 226, thanks. All right, so that's what we have, and our new squawk is 11.
Spirit Wings 2154, Fort Lauderdale Tower, winds 100.
Initial altitude of 4,000.
Runway 10 right, quarter line.
Initial altitude 4,000. I'm going to turn down. Where is? Turn down just a little bit. I will try. Yeah, I will try again. I'm going to launch Pegasus right now. There's my shorthand if you want it. I'm going to see if we can... Booking. Start flight. Incorrect. It even says G1 through G14. Right there. I don't know, man. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. Kind of unfortunate. All right. Everything's good. We're ready to start. Are you guys ready to start? Who's ready for some Boris downs? Just like we start number 1 first, because how do you count to 2? Do you go 1, 2, or do you go 2, 1? Don't be French. I'm just kidding. French do 2, 1, but that's because they don't want a single engine taxi. Here we go. Turn in 1. Dougal, number 2 first for you in the UK. Man, y'all gotta make things harder in the UK. You really do. Where's the light off? I hope I didn't mess something up. Oh my gosh, I didn't put the ignition switch on. Jeez. I didn't put the ignition switch on my Throttletek. There we go. Well, there you go. That is systems enough right there. I didn't have the ignition switch to ignition start, so it was literally just mode ring. Fake pilots in chat, exactly, AJ. V-Slong, this is vSpirit. vSpirit is the VA. I thought I had a link to it in the description. I might not have because I had to recopy it over. But vSpirit, awesome VA to get started, man. One of my favorites to fly. I can't wait till they get IE engines for the Phoenix because that's what Spirit runs. We'll be flying the Phoenix on there as well. We got a good start on 1. Let's go ahead and turn 2. See, I'm actually not qualified to start engines because I'm the captain. The captain doesn't start the engines. We just let the FO do it. Oh, man, listen to that. Piedmonter's in the house. What's up, man? Yeah, I tried Piedmonter. I tried at the gate. I tried after we pushed off the gate. Brakes set, engines off. Could not get it going. And what's weird is I had it going on the last stream that didn't work out. So I don't know what the issue is. I even refiled from VAMSys. There you go, Christy. Thanks for the link there. Check out that link from Christian. That is the link to the vSpirit Discord, man. And it is free. Yes, it is free. They got a Discord. They got everything you need to know, man. They got awesome stuff. I do have FSUIPC running. FSUIPC is running. James, it's usually flex in real life. Here on stream, we do Togas only. Yeah, no, it's still working, Pete Monitor, because if it wasn't, Fly Live wouldn't work.
Wings 2154, you can make a...
All right, we got 2 good starts. We're going to go ahead and we'll reconfigure here. We're doing flaps 2 for cinematic purposes. Final Light NL, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you streaming again. Hope you like the lighting rework. Ooh, we're going to have to do a night flight is what you're telling me, huh? All right, that's good. That's good. We'll go ahead and kill that. That's coming off. Flaps 2, ground spoilers arm. Since I'm single pilot, let's do a little flight control. Left, all right. Oh, my rudders. I can't move on. Still haven't secured my streaming setup yet. That is good. Reset. All right, and trim is set 0. Cool. All right, you ready? Let's go ahead and do this. Lauderdale Tower, Spirit Wings 226 at G10, ready taxi Alpha.
Spirit Wings 226, runway 10 right, taxi by Tango 8, Quebec, Juliet.
10 right, Tango 8, Quebec, Juliet for Spirit Wings 226. Boom, that's where we're going. 10 right, Tango 8, Quebec, Juliet.
Spirit Wings 22 or 226.
Yes,
caution.
I'll give way.
Just caution the company A320 on Tango 8.
Roger, we stand, we'll give way to Spirit Wings 226. Alright, taxi 10-9. Tango 8. Quebec, Juliet. Alright, here we go. He looks like he's just chilling. Taxi lights on, brakes released. Let's go to Atlanta. You can't be moving when you turn Pegasus. Yeah, I tried it at the gate. Trust me. I tried it every which way, man. It's not my first time running Pegasus. It just did not want to load. But what's weird is I know it worked a couple days ago. Oh, we took that turn a little fast. I can't get on my brake pedals. I'm trying not to roll back here and taxi. Gonna need to... Good news is I have the desk, the actual permanent desk for the office is in the back of my truck right now. So I just wanted to make sure this stream worked before I rage quit. So far we're looking good. Now we're getting real close here on the wingtips. He must be waiting for a gate. Pretty popular. Sanders, good to see you. Thank you for the continued support for 5 months. Welcome. I use Pegasus for a V. I'm part of it. Worked fine. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know, man. It is weird. No touching tips, Chaos. Oh, man, what's... Flight director system. Oh, wrong side sim just sent me a text from MEL. I should apply. We're not going to do it on this stream, but it's a long MEL. Oh, did we just pass Tango 8? I'm over here trying to drink coffee. Tango 8, Quebec, so we're right here. Make a left. I don't screw up my taxis very much in real life, but when I do, they all happen to be in Lauderdale for some reason. So, on cue, I almost passed Quebec. Gustavo, long time, man. Good to see you. Welcome. Jeremy, yes, in Lauderdale, the pavement is this bright. So this is a good touch on realism here. I don't know what it is with South Florida concrete. Miami's kind of the same way. But Latin VFR, you may think that, oh, why is the texture so bad on the ground, so bright? Literally, guys, it is one of the brightest taxiway airports that I go to in South. I don't know if it's a combination of the sun being close to the equator and whatever they use in their concrete, but it is very, very bright in Lauderdale. Velociraptor, thank you for the membership chat there. 6 months with you, and we got the Speed Bird is in chat. Flight Dispatch, good to see the stream is looking healthy. Yeah, so far so good, Flight Dispatch. So far so good, man. Sun bleached? I don't know what it is, Dougal. It's something, but it is awfully bright. All right, let's go. Auto brakes, max, takeoff, config, checked. We'll do this, this. That's in above, TARA, and there I am.
Please prepare for takeoff.
Ooh, look at that. Off center line. Maybe the runway looks white from the limestone. Ooh, maybe. Alright, I know, bear with me on the taxi, guys. I'm trying to taxi with one foot and hold on to my desk. Delta Tango, good to see you, man. Probably a lot of shell debris in the local soil that the concrete... Maybe, P-Monitor. A firm, 226.
Airways 226, wind 10010, runway RNAV elbow, runway 10 right, clear for takeoff.
RNAV elbow, 10 right, clear for takeoff, spring 226. Oh boy, we're in the grass. We're gonna go into the EMAS. We're gonna go into the EMAS. Don't look. Real fake pilot. I'm trying to do too many things at once here. Hey, you don't want to taxi into the EMAS. We save that for Southwest. Let's go ahead and go back over here. We're testing. We're practicing some things here. Don't worry about it. Look, we're good. We'll get the rest of the lights on. Look, hey. We're fine. No EMASs were hurt in the filming of this live stream. Look, 10 right, perfect. Perfect. Look at that. See? What a professional pilot lineup that is. Let's get the rest of the lights. I need a freaking light panel up here. Alright, strobes are on. I'm ready to go. Seatbelts weren't even on the whole taxi. Jesus Christ. This guy is just a whack job. Alright, here we go. You guys ready to go? Let's get some Togas in chat. I don't know what just happened there. Spool them up 50. Let's go. QRF Actual, welcome to Commercial Pilot, man. Thank you so much for joining the channel. Enjoy this yoga takeoff. I'm dedicating it to you right now, QRF. Yoga. Golly. Listen to it increase. Listen to it increase. Keeps going. So good. All right, Mantoga SRS runway auto thrust is blue. That slope at the end is pretty accurate. 80 knots thrust set, 100 knots checked. Right into the ski jump here. V1. Rotate. Actually, we got off a little bit early before the ski jump. Nah, we're still rolling. Positive rate. Gear up. Navin. Fly with. Gosh, that looks awesome. Got a phone number for you. Even their runways are that white? Yeah, it's something about Lauderdale, Miami, South Florida. Thrust climb. We shouldn't have a reduction was way off there. We're still in SRS mode, so we're not going to reconfigure yet. That's interesting.
226, launching Conti 2.80.
22.8, have a good day. Thanks for the ATC, Spurwings 226. Alright, so had a little interesting situation go down there. I'm going to go autopilot. There it is. There's climb. So now we can go ahead and retract flaps 1. I think our thrust reduction and acceleration was off. There's our hotel. Man, nothing like flying clearing a million, 12 noon. Worst possible time to fly and enjoy visuals. Yeah, Jay, the slope is about that. It's about that steep, man. It really is. I'm gonna turn down the airplane a little bit. Tower on the phone. Also Tower. 2 Supremes, a pepperoni and cheese. Why does it have a slope? Well, I know it goes under. Let's go flap 0 after takeoff checklist. Looks like we had an auto retract right there. That's pretty cool. We're at 4,000. Let's go ahead and climb all the way up to 360. We'll just do an open climb. No ATC. 360 is set. Pull for open. Thrust climb, open climb. Here we go. If the stream is buffering, it's not on my end, because trust me, I'm checking it. What I will do is, can I change the time of day? Let's just like lower that sun a little bit. There we go. Just give us something a little bit better to look at. Yeah, there is a road. That's what I was going to say. There's a road that goes under the runway. I'm not sure if that's why, but I mean, maybe it has something to do with it for sure. But that slope is accurate. And I think someone in the Discord was asking if the slope in the Latin VFR scenery was that significant in real life, and it really is. I really can't tell if it's... I don't know why we got map partially displayed. Shouldn't have that on there. But it's looks pretty close to me as far as realism. You've already taxied through the grass. Taxi. Time change won't hurt. Aviator Trav, cheers, man. Good to see you. The transitions at the top and bottom of the slope are too sharp. Okay, I'll have to look. We'll have to maybe... I've never like actually zoomed in on a panel on like the drone cam. I'll have to check it out. But just from the lineup view there on the runway, it didn't seem abnormally tall, but I haven't looked closely at those transitions. Looks like we hit 10,000 feet. I can see the AOA lowering. Yep, we're at 10,000 feet, so we're going to go ahead and accelerate. Let's go ahead and get our lights off. So for vSpirit, lights come off, 10,000 feet, and most every airplane here in the U.S. So strobes, beacon, nav is on. Everything else looks good. We'll do a little forward call. Let them know we're out of sterile. Everything looks good on the overhead. We're accelerating. Cabin is pressurizing. We'll go back to Unicom. Should have done that earlier. And I wanted to check something in my flight plan, so let's step through this here. Okay, we have some funny business happening here in the flight plan. I've got about 42 different LARs. Tell you what, we'll deal with it once we hit top of climb. Let's enjoy the climb out while we can. Let's enjoy this for now. Did I see Mini FCU? Yes, I have. Being relayed by Mini Cockpit Kickstarter, launched at the end of the month. Evil Cookie? Yes, I have. They've actually sent me an email. I need to respond to them. I would love to maybe do something for them, take a look at it, give them my thoughts and opinions on it. From what I've seen, I've just seen like that rendition of it. I don't know if it's an actual model yet. Looks pretty promising though, and it is something that I would be very interested in, whether I'm part of the sponsorship or whatnot, or if I just pick one up on my own. It is something I'm interested in because it is the FCU knob, and it does make manipulating the airplane much easier. Now, what is a problem with it is it's not compatible with the Phoenix. So, and I think that has to do with how Phoenix runs its coding with what is that program that runs the internals that Phoenix uses? Basically the old ProSim. ProSim, is that right? So, I don't know how they're going to overcome that, because if it's not usable with the Phoenix, that's going to be tough. I mean, yeah, if it works with the fly-by-wire, it'd be great. We fly the Phoenix predominantly on this channel. We'll probably be flying the fly-by-wire more, especially now that it's getting more and more updated. And we're going to try that VNAV out today, although I don't know, by the looks of our flight plan, we're going to have some work to do. You think FSUIPC would get it to work, Velociraptor? So would we be able to get that mini FCU to work with FSUIPC? Would that be a workaround? A Boeing one would be better just saying, AJ, hey man, hurting my feelings. Crew Direct Lars, which one? James says the stream looks good. Good. That's good to hear, man. It's good to hear. What's funny is we only lost, which is small considering the number of frames is probably getting close to the millions by now, at least the hundreds of thousands. We lost 10 single frames, and it happened right when I tried to restart Pegasus. I find that interesting. I find that very interesting. Jeremy says, can you explain what the UI times are? Having trouble understanding the difference between off, out, and on, for example. Oh, Jeremy, yeah, absolutely. Pretty. Once I explain it, you'll be like, oh, that's easy. So out time. So it starts with out, which is out. That's your block out. What time do you push back from the gate? Your off time is the time the wheels leave the ground. So essentially, that is your taxi time. Your on time the wheels touch the ground. Your in time, the in time and the out time can kind of be manipulated by the company depending on which parameters they want to use. But most common, it's either a door open and the parking brake set for in time. So your in time, you roll up to the gate, brakes are set, and either a L1 door gets disarmed and opened, or a cargo door gets opened. That triggers the in time. So, and the off time the out time can be triggered by different factors. It could be wheel roll, it could be closing of the door and arming of the L1 door. It could be a wheel roll over a certain amount of knots. It all depends on how the company wants to structure the times. I'm getting impatient for the Phoenix V2. Dougal, hey man, I would probably say I'm right there with you, but because I haven't been able to stream for the last month and a half, I'm okay with them not releasing anything because I want to make sure my stuff is good to go before they release it, selfishly. But I do understand, man. I would love to see an update, and I really think it's needed. You know, when we did our very first test stream here at the V1 HQ number 2, the Phoenix is still a great airplane. It flies nice, everything's good, but there's been so many changes to the sim, and I think we're starting to really kind of see the impacts of the sim being updated and not so much the Phoenix. Most specifically, from what I've noticed, is how the airplane kind of handles wind and gusts. For a while there, it was great, and then it's kind of like tapered off a little bit, and it seems like it's kind of weird now, or I feel like every now and then my airplane does something a little funky that I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Hopefully those can all get ironed out in the V2. What do you guys see that you would like to see changed in the Phoenix, other than engines and sharklets? Could you explain how to do a fuel tank transfer? Absolutely. Many great planes on the horizon. Good time to be a simmer. Cheers to that, Final. I couldn't agree more with you. And I've been looking at that 380 y'all have been working on. My first flight in a 380 is going to be Tampa to Fort Lauderdale. Flight Sim Guy says, I noticed the fly-by-wire, you can hear the ding of the flight attendant call buttons in the cockpit, but you can't hear them in the Phoenix cockpit. Is that accurate? Flight Sim Guy, this question has been asked multiple times, and every time I hear a ding in the cockpit, I try to remember what I heard so I can relay the information to you. Basically, and I think this was talked about before, we're going to have to fix this. If I do a forward call and my headset is on, I can hear it. Or if it doesn't come through the headset is what I'm saying. So if you have a noise canceling headset on, you probably won't hear it. But with the headset that I use, which is just the ship set, which is Telex 850, something like that, or no headset, I can hear it ding very faintly like it did just there. Is that on every single airplane? No. Can I tell you why that is? No. Maybe it has to do with the insulation, the padding between the cockpit door, the volume of the alert that's being triggered on the flight attendant panel. But I will tell you, sometimes, yes, I can hear it because I remember. I'm like, oh yeah, I just heard it. But then I forget to document like what I heard. Was my headset on? Was it off? And then other times I don't hear it. So you guys come up with some questions that I would never think of. And it's great. It makes me think, like, I don't know. Can I hear the flight attendant? Then I'm like, does that call button go through the headset intercom? But it doesn't. So why do I hear it? Very dependent, man. Very dependent. I will try to remember. I have a 3-day trip coming up this week, so I will try to remember. I'll try to do some testing for you. Do you activate fuel crossfeed for long single-engine taxis to avoid a fuel imbalance? Yes, if you have a really long one. Anything over an hour, you're probably going to start to see a pretty significant imbalance. But you can go up to probably 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, and you might be 300, 400, 500 pounds out of balance. Maybe not even 500 pounds. You start getting over an hour, and then you're probably going to want to start a transfer. You'll probably still be able to take off. Believe it or not, depending on the airframe you're in, you can have quite a disparity in fuel tanks as far as weight is concerned for takeoff, depending on the airplane. 800 pounds, 1,100 pounds. It just depends on whether you're in a 320, 19, 2021. I should know that because I do have a line check coming up, so I need to get on that. I know the numbers: 1102, 882, 1102, 882, and 1106. Those are the fuel imbalance numbers allowed for landing, I believe. AJ, thank you for the continued support. 6 months. Good to see you streaming again, V1. It's been so long since your last stream. X-Plane has improved a lot since your last one. AJ, thank you for that membership milestone chat. Yes, and there has been a development in X-Plane that I'm going to be diving back in there. So, on the last X-Plane 12 stream I did, we were in the TOLUS. We did that max failure stream. TOLUS only allows, I think, only allowed a certain amount of failures, 4, 5, 6, something like that. Now they've upped that number to, I think, 20. They said TOLUS left a comment on my last video, said, hey, we're going to up the number of failures allowed. I'd like to see you try to do this again and land safely. You know what I said to that? Challenge accepted. So we're going to have to do another failure stream, max failures in the TOLUS. I want to see how many we can compile up. Have you ever been tempted to buy a good noise-canceling headset? I have, Aaron. I did have one. I had really good noise-canceling headsets in my freight career, my corporate career, in my regional career. Once I got to the Airbus, I said, nah, I don't need it anymore. I just use the ship sets. All right. Let's try to fix this box here. So stormy transition. And we have a bunch of stuff. So let's delete. I tell you what, why don't we just go direct? Let's go direct to Larry, L-A-I-R-I, but which one is it? We're going to pick the last one. Direct to Larry. And we're going to insert that, and that's going to clean up the box. So we're direct to Larry. Good to go. And now we've got our numbers, fuel on board. This is all populated now, so that looks good. Progress page, we'll put ATL in here. ATL is set, 427 miles to go. We're climbing out nicely, 32 for 36. Let's enjoy some more views here as we climb on out. I like this view. Juicy. Am I going to FS Expo? Right now I have a trip smack dab in the middle of FS Expo. I'm going to try to manipulate it, so no comment yet. Here's the deal. If I do make it to the expo, I'm really going to try to go on that Friday. And I'd probably have to leave Saturday. Let me look at my schedule because I have 2 trips. It sucks. I got a trip that ends late Friday night and then another trip that starts Saturday. So without dropping both trips, well, the one on Saturday starts at 2, so I could theoretically commute in and do that trip. But yeah, I have to get rid of at least one trip, so I'm going to work on it. We'll see. Felix Almonte, Almonte. I'm going to give you one of the best tips I would give Microsoft Flight Simmers. And this is my opinion. And in my opinion, I've other people kind of agree with me on this in the Discord that I've talked to. FS Realistic, do not use that. You don't need it unless you're flying maybe a GA airplane that doesn't have a very good sound set, or some other airplanes that you want to add a little bit of immersion to. You don't need it for any of the Airbuses. I'm going to tell you right now. The sound packs on both the Phoenix and the FlyByWire, you don't need it. You don't need head shake. You don't need airplane vibration. These airplanes don't vibrate. Engine startup, it doesn't vibrate. The only airplanes that vibrate on engine startup is like a twin prop, piston, maybe a turbo prop. it's not. I know what FS Realistic is trying to do, and I think that they have a great product. I think FS Realistic is awesome. So if you have extra money, you just want it's burning a hole in your pocket, yeah, pick it up, especially if you like GA stuff. FS Realistic and GA are like peas in a pod. But when it comes to the airlines, specifically PMDG, Phoenix, FlyByWire, BAE 146, you don't need it, man, in my opinion. And I've also noticed issues specifically with the Phoenix and FS Realistic. So I actually had specific issues linked with stability of the Phoenix and FS Realistic together, and that's when I just X'd it from my plan, and it's been, knock on wood, very stable ever since. But with that said, I mess a little bit with FS Realistic for, like I said, light props, and I'm kind of tweaking one for the C-160 Transall just because I want to put some more. That airplane to me, I think, is going to can benefit a little bit from that, but I don't know how much it messes with the flight model either. And I know it messes with flight models, especially turbulence imposed on the airplane. So it's a slippery slope. But toilet flushes. Looks like we're short of about 100 likes. Please smash the like button. Dougal, you're absolutely right, guys. If you haven't already, smash down that like button, because I do need y'all's help. So when I don't stream for a while, especially as as transitioning to a new state and moving, the channel gets knocked out of the algorithm.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again from the Flightdeck, your captain speaking. We've just reached our cruising altitude for the flight. As you begin to settle in, I do want to remind you to please keep your feet elbows clear from the aisle, as the flight attendants will be coming through the cabin with galley carts shortly. Also, one more reminder to please refrain from congregating in the front galley where the flight deck door is located. Thank you.
Sounds like a real fake pilot to me. Sounds like somebody would taxi onto an EMAS. But what I was saying is that the algorithm, because I've been out of the game for a while, it's going to be hurting for probably the next quite a few streams. So if you like this content, if you want to support me, please smash down that like button. It's absolutely free. It's COVID free, and it'll make you feel good. So smash it down for me. Dougal, you love that 160. I can't. Dougal, have you flown it since the update? I think it was updated, 2 days ago? I'm going to try that. The algorithm abandons you, but we won't. V1, in fact, I think V1 Nation doubles down on sport. Fubar, it 100% does. Fubar, did you always have those V1 wings? Or did you accumulate those over my absence? They're looking sharp on you, Fubar. But yes, thank you so much, man. And you guys, V1 Nation does not disappoint. I mean, we got 250 people watching the stream that I have 0 push notifications out for. So that means you either have your YouTube notifications on specifically for this channel, and or you were just be bopping around the Discord and saw me posted in there with no alerts. So you guys are awesome. Thank you. That sounded like a Texan. Can't be V1. Ouch. Ouch, Chaos. Right in the feels, my man. Oh, look at I do like this view here. I'm gonna right there with the that's South Florida for you. How do you or who calculates the cruising altitude? That'll be coming from dispatch. So dispatch will run the cruise altitude for you, and they look at multiple things. I need to get wrong side sim on here. I need to get wrong side sim on a live stream together, because there's a lot we want to talk about. He's a real world dispatcher, used to be a real world dispatcher. Now he's a dispatch shift coordinator, so he's DSC now. So he's kind of like head cheese of dispatch. And we actually talk frequently through text message and stuff. So I would love to have him on, and we can talk more about all that stuff and like what goes into their calculations for cruise altitudes. A lot of times it's, first off, what's the most efficient altitude for that flight? The longer the flight, the higher the altitude you want to be at, if you can swing it for for fuel efficiency, number one, but also wind. But wind is a double-edged sword, because if you're going the wrong direction, the higher you go, the more wind you're probably going to get. So you kind of have to find that balance of fuel burn and how much headwind you're willing to take, because if you go up 39,000 feet and you're going to be in a 180 knot headwind, or if you go at 32,000 feet and you're in a 60 knot headwind, that's a big difference. That's a big swing, and there'd also be a lot of rough air up there. So you got to take stuff into account. Vincent Crump, thank you for the support, man. V1, good to see you streaming again. Can you please explain the difference between VIA and transition in flight planning? Thanks. VIA and transition. are you referring to, Vincent, thank you for the support, my man. Are you referring to when we go down here and we go here and it's via and star? Or I'm sorry, via and transition here? So the approach via is the via or the attachment point to the actual approach. So Permin is a via waypoint to the ILS approach 28. The Jedi 3 transition is where do you want the star or the arrival to transition you to. So let's take a look at the star. We'll kind of go over this again here. And I saw we did have some doubled up waypoints in there as well. We'll get back to that. But let's go to our destination. Let's look at our star again. Let's just go to pin charts. We'll do Jedi 3. I'm going to hide you over here. I don't need this anymore, so we'll do this. Nope. How do I do it? Do this. I love the fly pad. I might make some people mad when I say this. I actually like the fly pad better than the Phoenix one. I really like the Phoenix one for failures and landing distance computations. They got the failures in there. You can run your alternate landing distance. Awesome. But I like the format of laying out the charts in this one. It's very similar, but this one just seems more intuitive. That's just me. Probably going to piss some people off, but oh well. And I can bring my own coffee cup into the airplane, which is cool. So yeah, Chaos, I see that I have the wrong transition now. So I selected Melnum. Why did I do that? Let's zoom in here. So first things first, and we kind of talked about this on, oh, now we got sticky mouse again. All right. Expect received. Oh, I messed up. I thought it said Melnum for 28. Melnum transition is assigned by ATC only. So to start the star, start the arrival, the transition point is, think of it as your off-ramp. So the off-ramp from a highway to a side street, you got to take the off-ramp. That is your transition. We're all up in that. We're in the airway structure right now. We're up on Victor or Jet Airway, whatever we're on. And where are we going to transition to the arrival? And I incorrectly selected Melnum. Let's double check here. So descend via Atlanta Center, Atlanta approach will be blah, blah, blah. Select runway 28. Melnum is assigned by ATC only. So on this star, our transition was actually Lars. That's what it should be. So let me come down here. I selected the Melnum. What if I probably really messed this up. Can I reselect Lars? Let's try that. Hopefully we don't crash the sim. All right, Larry, Lars, perfect. So now we're going to be coming, because this is the direction we're coming from. So Lars transition. So when you would file this flight plan, it would actually be Jedi 3, or it would actually be Lars.Jedi 3, because you got to put which point do you want to start it at? We're going to start at Lars, and actually we might be starting it at Larry. I'm not sure on this specific one, but that is where we're starting it at. And then the approach via is where you're going to start the approach from. The approach via, there's multiple waypoints down here. We got Permin, Jiri, Zello, Yoyu, and Silva. These can all be and are runway dependent. So what we'll do is I'll look at the approach chart now for the ILS to 28, because we know we were told to select the ILS 28. Now I can look here. I've got a Terry via, or I've got a Permin via. Well, I don't really need to go to Terry because we're kind of coming down the star. And if I go back real quick, let's go back to the star, Jedi 3. Let's just look at those approach vias. I don't even see Terry available here, because Terry I think is actually going to be like somewhere over here. So I'm not going to select Terry. I'm going to select Permin, and I know Permin is a safe bet unless otherwise assigned by ATC. But Permin is going to be a very safe bet, because all Permin does on the approach via is it draws out your ILS to full straight in distance. So you're going to get Wanzer, you're going to get all the other fixes depending on the runway. There could be a lot more. I'm going to get a full length ILS here from Permin. I don't need Terry. Now if ATC, they may come on and say, hey, proceed direct Terry. Then you could just plug it in, Terry Permin. But the approach via is where you're going to start the approach from, and then the transition is where you're going to transition from the star to the arrival. So that was a very long-winded, confusing answer. Hopefully you're clear as mud now. Yeah, Melnum is HC only. I agree. V1, the Phoenix one is very good, but I think chart-wise it's easier on this one. Yeah, chart-wise it's easier. I love how the Phoenix allows you to run that extra, you know, with the failures and landing distance and all that.
I'm joining the party late. How's it going? Making our way to Hotlanta IC. Lol.
Callie Simmer, man. Good to see you. Thank you for the $10 bank angle check right back at you. Hey, you're not joining late, man. I started early for you. I got to remember I'm East Coast. I might have to shift my streaming times just because I am now earlier than normal. Yeah, depending on where you are. But Callie Simmer, thank you so much, man, for the $10 super chat. Things are going good. I didn't have any push notifications sent out on the Discord because I just wanted to test the stream again. I hate getting people hyped up and letting them down when we can't go live. So you didn't miss much, man. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good day and a good Tuesday afternoon, my friend. Welcome. It's called Flight Sim, not Cabin Sim. Maybe we don't have a cabin, that's right. FlyByWire is an amazing product considering it's free. Never expected such high quality from FluWare. William, you're absolutely right, man. What this airplane has become to where it started is pretty wild. It is pretty wild. All right, we're 323 miles. I'll tell you what we do. Let's jump to the outside view for a little bit. Oh, that's actually a cool shot right there. Let me turn down this volume, and then I'm gonna pump in some not live music, but I want to load music into because internet has been really good, so I'm stress testing it out here. We're doing stress testing, so I'm gonna put in some tunes here. I'm going to have to fix this mouse, that's for sure. We'll get some soft house music for Christy Ionscu. How's that? I tell you what I do need to do is I need to change real quick. We'll go here and audio. Exterior is 5. Look, I'm going to bump it down even 2. Look at that. That is how it's done. Quick, easy, efficient. Love it. Spida, I am back. Welcome, man. I still got Larry twice in there. Oh, boy. This view is too juicy to change right now. We have to watch this view for a minute. Uh-oh, bank angle check.
It's been a while since I've been on or resupplied Woodford Reserve. Nice to see you back.
Rand Cool, my man. Thank you for the $25 bank angle check. That bank angle check, I actually watched that one pop up. I can see when I look over my monitor, I can see that bank angle thing pop up. Haven't seen it in a couple weeks. Pretty funny, man. Pretty funny. Thank you so much, Rand Cool. It never gets tired getting bank angle checks from all y'all. So thank you so much for the $25 Rand Cool, $25 Woodford Reserve resupply. You know what? I got a nice new glass, Rand Cool. I picked one up at off a guy I watch, a podcaster I watch. I got a nice new lowball glass. I haven't even used it yet. I opened it yesterday. I think I'm going to stop by on the way home. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Last time I watched the live, I was starting Camel. I'm now commercial airline multi-engine land. Y'all with the acronyms. Y'all making acronyms. We don't need more of them. Starting Camel. I'm now in CFIA training. Haven James. Phenomenal, man. Awesome. Glad to hear it, dude. I love it when I see y'all who tackle the challenge of becoming real world pilots, and you join the channel, you tune in, and maybe you're just starting your journey, or you're a PPL, and then you tune in months later and you've already accomplished X amount of things. Very, very cool to see the progression. I do have a spot in the Discord for real world pilots, and I love it when y'all post photos and updates, and specifically, since we're in the Fly-by-Wire Bohr sound pack, I remember when he just started his flight training. And now he's full-fledged private pilot. He's out renting airplanes, flying around, making sound packs. So it's just very cool to see that in this YouTube community here that we have, and in the V1 Nation, to watch you guys progress. Very neat. AJ Fernar, you may have heard of him. Sean Ryan. You ever heard of Sean Ryan, AJ? Why not finish the 320 first and do the 380? Oh, they were talking about doing the model 380 after the model. So Final Light says the model will be tackled after 380. That's what I'm personally quite excited for. Ooh, I'll be very excited to see a fly-by-wire rendition of a model of a 320, because what I've seen so far on the 380, from the sneak peeks that I've seen from the Blue Experience podcast and media and stuff and the screenshots, looks very, very good. All right, so we'll keep on run to tracks. Words of XP. I definitely would love to learn to fly. The whole thing just feels daunting. Velociraptor, hey man, you're not the only one that feels that way, dude. It is very daunting. Let me look down here. We got 2 Larrys. Why don't I go direct Lars? I'll go direct to the very last Lars. Can I do that? Direct Lars in the turn. Man, I gotta find a good view. Looks like a little bit of weather up there. Trying to find it. There we go. Sticky mouse syndrome. Imagine if one of us joins you in the flight deck for Jeremy. I'm waiting for the day, man. That would be something. A V1 member sitting right seat. That would be something. I want the CRT Airbus. It'd be cool to see. I mean, I'm indifferent. I think it'd be cool to have the option, but the thing is with the CRT, I mean, it's literally the same airplane. You fly it the same way. It's just things are depicted a little bit differently. That's all. And it's hard as hell to see the screens when it's sunny. So for me, it brings up feelings of, oh my gosh, why do we have CRT in this airplane instead of like hype? I'd much rather see IEs and sharklets in abundance instead of a CRT. But I would also like to see it. I mean, it'd be good to mix it up. My dream for Phoenix is not a 321. I would like to see Phoenix come out with a CRT option A319. That's what I want Phoenix to release next. That's what I want Phoenix to release next. With Sharklet option on the 319. You ever seen the like American Sharklet 319s? Oh yeah. Saves about 10 kilos. It did a little bit. Also, if FS Labs imported their planes into Microsoft Flight Sim for a lower price, yeah, I don't know. Hey, one thing I know, I was in the FS Lab game when they were first really coming out with FSX stuff. Listen, FS Labs, whatever they say, just add about 5 years to anything and then check back on the forums and you might have a new piece of information. But no. Am I against them bringing airplanes to Microsoft? Heck no. But I may not even be a channel by the time that happens. Old school EIS ones are so sexy. I love the CRTs. Probably from a non 4-leg day pilot perspective, I would agree with you. V1, glad you're back. Skipping math class to watch this stream. Hey, Test. Well, welcome. My math teacher said I'd never be a pilot because I dropped her algebra. Or no, I dropped her calculus class. Oh well. So, I'm not going to hold you for skipping math class, my friend. Does the FlyByWire have VNAV now? Joe Plains. It does have a version of VNAV. We are going to give it a test. And this will be a really good test because we've been jacking with the box a lot on this one. A lot of times, especially as things get developed. And Chaos, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but in my logic of things, when something is getting developed experimentally, such as now we're working on VNAV, ideally you're going to get it working in one scenario, right? Like, okay, flight plan is imported, I can run the math and it's calculated, VNAV works. Then when you start jacking with the flight plan, changing waypoints to leading waypoints, changing stars, I feel like that, the process of doing all that stuff adds to the complexity of making sure VNAV still works. So if VNav works on this flight, after all the stuff we've been doing in the box, this looks pretty good. Yeah, you focus on the proper use case first. Exactly. Yeah. Tim Hamilton says, "Hey V1, only my 6th lesson yesterday. I already had an abnormal week or an abnormal event. We were departing out of Hilton Head. Oh, nice. Yesterday and smelled smoke and had to make a 180 return to the airport. Whoa! They rolled out the fire trucks and everything. Tim Hamilton. Wow. Interesting. What airplane were you in? Yeah, smoke fire fumes. Never a good deal. My very first flight lesson ever, airplane caught fire. Second lesson ever, lost radio, all radio comms. Third lesson ever, basically lost control of the airplane in severe turbulence. That's how my flight career started. Intercept the Gustavo. What did you say? The old CPU trying to keep the climb speed or descent is a mess. Intercepting the ILS above 30 degrees and it will overshoot the CRT with something. Yeah. Hey, man, we still got some old birds that still are very poor in their abilities. Actually had one the other day. It overshot the localizer big time. And everything was armed up, ready to go. Old 319. And it just completely overshot. No abnormal wind or anything. They actually had to turn the autopilot off. It's like, that's kind of weird. I've got a stream on the iPad as I'm turning final on the Phoenix into Hong Kong. Ooh, flight dispatch. I'm just going to start calling you Speedbird. Very nice, man. I'm itching. Here's the deal, guys. Every 5,000, is it 10,000? Every 10,000 subs? Yeah, every 10,000 subs we do a massive tour. So at 25K we did the South America tour, which was phenomenal. We're approaching 35K subs. So I'm getting the itch to fly abroad. I haven't quite decided where we're going to go yet, but I am ready for a new V1 World Tour. So if you're not subscribed already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because 35K we will launch a new World Tour, and we do it properly. Some people love it, some people don't love it, but we basically fly as we are really there. So we will fly from point A to point B, and we cannot go anywhere else except depart from point B to point C and so forth. So you are literally stuck with the airplane. And it's kind of challenging for me because I got to make sure I plan to go to airports that I could go to somewhere else interesting, because you can get yourself in a pigeon. You can pigeonhole yourself into a spot where like, ooh, I don't know what to do now. How do we fly into here? Where are we going to go now? So it makes it fun. So time for V1 in Europe again. That's a popular one. I tell you what I'm doing. I'm probably going to, actually not probably, this is what we're going to do. I will come up with my 3 or 4 top things that I want to do for the channel on the next World Tour. And then I will put out a long poll for the commercial members. I will put out a poll for the commercial pilots to vote on the next World Tour. So we'll see. But a return to Europe has been brought up before. That was the very first World Tour. We did a 7-hour flight, 319, Kennedy to London City. A lot of fun. VNav is definitely important for Europe, absolutely. Dougal, I'll keep the coffee hot in UK then, huh? Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. H. Martin, hi all, V1, glad to have you back. Hey, man, I am so happy to be back right now. You have no idea, man. The fact that the stream is holding steady, I'm loving it. Remember, though, I need to know it ahead of time early so I can make more music for the tour. Jeremy, yes, I will make sure I'll give you some time, my friend. And we could always, I will let you know, Jeremy, for sure. I'll let you know. That's one of the best parts of the New World Tour. We get specific music for countdown themes. Man, there have been some really good countdown themes. I really love that Asia Pacific one you did, Jeremy. But then I think to the Concorde one, which I absolutely love that one. Then I think to the South. I love them all, man. Every time you make one, I'm like, it can't be better than the last one. And they're just all so good. You know what would go cool with a tour? A podcast. Callie Zimmer. Hey, man. So here's the deal. More empty promises for the podcast. I was going to do a podcast after the stream failed on, a couple days ago, but I left all my Ethernet cables. I left my my second keyboard and the second mouse in the office, so I didn't. All I have is a tower at home. So today I'm going to bring back the keyboard, Ethernet cable, and a mouse. That way I can also set up the PC that's at home. Do podcasts from. I think we can do podcasts from home on the Starlink without a problem, because there's no visuals on that. Have I flown into St. Martin in real life? Yes, I have, Brad K. And I've been wanting to get back there because I know there's some photographers that do legit do a plane spot. They do the big picture, they blow it up for you, and you can purchase photos of you flying in. When I was a first officer flying into St. Martin, the captain had that done, and I was just, man, I should have done it. But I was a broke first officer, so I wasn't spending money on photos. But then, as luck would have it, I haven't been back to St. Martin in a very long time. So, small world. Any plane spotters in Puerto Rico on the chat today? I saw quite a few. I flew into Ponce. Ponce is freaking awesome to fly into, and there was a bunch of plane spotters lined up on the roads out there. Why can't you make the podcast on this computer? I can, Jeremy, but I like to. The podcast, the After Dark podcast, I like to do it from the comfort of my own home most of the time, relax, pour a bourbon, whatever it may be, and just kind of chill. Now, I could absolutely do it from this computer, and we're gonna do a short members only flight after this. I'm gonna bump up the bit rate. I'm gonna bump up a couple other things, and I'm gonna do a quick flight in the C-160 for members only after this stream, just to see what the internet is capable of, because right now it's doing really good. Knock on wood, but then we'll go from there. But yeah, podcast I typically like to do from home, and it's more comfortable. The circle of thrust. There you go, Fubar. No, but if you pay for my trip to Puerto Rico, I'll bring a camera. There you go, AJ. I could. You know what, AJ? You're onto something. Maybe I should ask for who wants a paid trip to plane spot for me, and get photos of me landing at different airports around the world. That would be pretty cool. In real life, there is currently a Lancaster flying around Lincolnshire, UK, RAF. Coningsby. Ooh. I know you like those Lancasters, Dougal. I wonder what the next update's going to be. Might be a play factor in your next Grand Tour. I wonder what the next... Oh, Joe Plains, yes. Yeah, the next world update. It could be, for sure. FlyByWire 320 Neo with the Pratt Whitneys. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know when they'd get Pratts. I think that's a model, right? You can't do... That would all be part of modeling. So after the 380. Job opening. V1ographer. Fubar. Dude, that's a... Fubar, I like that. V1ographer. That is funny, man. Might be onto something here, Fubar. You legit might be onto something. I'll plane spot you in LAX for you. Cali Simmer. Dude, why didn't you say something? I just did a whole bunch of Cali. I think I got some more coming up. Let me see. I do. I have an LAX in June on a Sunday, though. Actually, no, Saturday. I don't think I have any more LA this month. No, I've got Tampa, San Antonio, Fort Lauderdale. Do have a San Juan, Chicago. No, well, I don't think I'm going LA anymore this month. Hi from Hamburg. Tuning Johnny 84. Welcome to the stream, man. Glad to have you on board. The Circle of Thrust podcast. Jeremy, I think we are in. I think that's a good idea. I think you're right, Jeremy. I think it is. Everyone's got an After Dark. It's way to be original, right? I think we're going to have to rename it. Petition to officially rename the V1 After Dark to the Circle of Thrust podcast. TCOTP. TCOTP. Yeah, I like it, Jeremy. I totally plane spot for you at O'Hare. If you fly there at all, I do fly there. Matter of fact, I got a couple turns coming up to O'Hare. Philly. I don't know, but we should probably take a look here inside. How we doing? We're looking good right now. We are 199 miles. We need to start doing work here. we'll do just a few more outside shots. Let me look for Philly, and then we'll phase the music out. Actually, you know what's funny? AJ, I'm actually going to O'Hare on Thursday, man. I'm not overnighting, though, just doing a turn. I don't have any filthy, though. Oh, that's a lie. I'm going to Philadelphia next week on the 22nd. I'm going to have to hit y'all up. Y'all in the Discord, right? Maybe we'll have to get something going in the Discord, because that would be really cool. Callie Simmer, you just have to film for 30 minutes? Yeah. I actually caught myself on a Vegas live cam. I stumbled across it, and I was like, hey, we just flew in here. And I was actually in the Vegas hotel room. I scrolled back, and I actually saw us landing in Vegas. Pretty neat. I didn't know Southwest flew to O'Hare. They do, actually, Aaron. They do. For real. They fly to O'Hare. They actually do now, for real. All right. This is just looking beautiful, though, huh? Man, I miss this sim, though. I miss this sim. How beautiful is that right there? 320 with sharklets. It's tough to beat. It's tough to beat, man. Finally got the streams up and running again. Knock on wood, Cruff. Knock on wood. So far, so good. I hope that shot is looking as good as it is for you as it is for me. Hope it's coming through good, because that just looks awesome. All right, we're going to phase it out here. We're going to go back to work. Perfect. Song is coming to an end. What song is this? This is a good song. Lepiton Falls. Oh, ooey. Yeah, I like ooey. All right, perfect timing. That's going to fade away, and we are going to go back to work. So let's do a couple things here. Let's jump into the airplane. Let's bump up the sounds. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah. We had a frame drop. Oh, it's coming. Yeah. Yep. It's dropping. 0.4%. 900. Oh, no. No. Hold on, I'm going to run some diagnosis. This might cause it to lag out here a second here. I'm doing some diagnosing. Wow. Okay, so my upload speed has been completely throttled back now. It has been completely throttled back. Not now, please, internet. No, it's not that. It's my upload. It's all about the upload. My upload has been completely throttled back now to like 9. I don't know. There shouldn't be an upload cap. It's starting to run away a little bit. I'm going to continue on. We'll just see what happens here. We're going to continue on here. I'm going to just get the new ATIS. Yeah, still dropping 2% frame drop right now. I'm gonna kind of just pretend like it's not happening, but it's definitely an it's got to be an ISP issue. Has to be. They're either throttling me or something. It's still dropping 2%. Descend via bottom altitude is 8,000 at Daffy. Let's see. Giving me FSX vibes back in 2020. Oh, that's not good. No, everything was so good, man. I was like, okay, maybe we're going to be just fine. Doesn't appear to be the case here. I'm going to keep chugging along. We'll see how long it takes here. Magnetic wind is 250 at 8. ILS 28 Barrow. We'll go back to the approach chart. Why are you still dropping? Yeah, it's really stuttering. I know it is. 1198. Stream's fine, just laggy. No, I don't use Starlink, Chase. This is a legit. Wow, shout out to Zach, who just subscribed during a massive frame drop episode. Nah, the sim's not lagging. What you're seeing is frame drop. It's still buttery smooth on my end. What you're seeing is frame drop. This is going to lag me out here a minute, so I'm doing another diagnosis. I'm 677 upload. How am I being pegged? I'm getting a 6 megabit upload right now. That's exactly what it is. Go from 40 to 6. That is so frustrating. Solid 40 up the whole stream. Now we're getting 6.28. I guess the only way to tell if it's something being throttled is if we just continue to stream through it. If it gets better, who knows what it is? Maybe it's just an anomaly. If it doesn't get better, then maybe I'm being data capped. Could that be a thing? But I think it's some type of throttling, man. It's got to be. Anyway, we're set up to come down for the ILS-28. I got 8,000 set. We'll do low brakes because I don't have my brake pedal set up. We'll get our LS push buttons on here. Our minimum's 1198. That's in the box. We got our environmentals are set. And TOD is in about 5 miles. So we'll wait, and then we'll hit the managed nav, and we'll see what happens here. Managed descent. ISPs are the worst. I agree with you, man, 100%. Here we go. TOD reached. Thrust idle descent. There goes the window, so it's probably going to dive over after it now, as would the real airplane. Dougal McTavish. Towards better internet or more bourbon? Oh, Dougal. Guys, shout out Dougal McTavish, man. He's been around since pretty much OG, since the channel ever got started.
Flight deck, ladies and gentlemen. As you may have noticed, we have begun our initial descent down to our destination. Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for our approach. If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated until the aircraft arrives safely at the gate. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
Dougal McTavish, thank you so much, man, for that 20-pound dono. Hey, the rate we're going, it's it's going to be leaning towards the bourbon, my friend. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. I doubt to be hitting cap. Yeah, I don't think it. Yeah, that's exactly. I don't think it's a cap. And I'm not on Wi-Fi. So someone says if you're on cable, no reason to throttle. So Rand, I'm on a coax cable. It's a coax connection, but it's a direct connection. I'm not sharing the line with anybody else. I have brought in my own internet provider to come in, Spectrum. So it runs to the building, and then from there it goes to my office and my office only. Now, it looks like it's holding, so I'm going to run another test here. This might temporarily lag me out again, but I'm going to run another test. I want to see if my upload has increased again. So stand by. Okay, so right now my upload is back to 30. So it should be stabilizing for y'all. So yeah, we're getting 30, we're getting a solid, stable 33 up right now. So the stream should be smoothing out for you. It should be looking better like it was originally. So Chaos says most ISPs don't throttle upload, but on coax, maybe they dynamically change the upload bandwidth to enable more download for the cable. That would seem the most probable, I would think, right? We'll see what happens. We'll keep going. We're going to keep going with it. We're on VNAV descent. Look at that. We're doing good. We're a little bit high on path. We're flying all over the place here. Let's go direct noop. Let's go direct noop. I don't know what happened there. We weren't in the cockpit. We're direct noop. We're 900 feet. We're catching up to our VNAV descent. Let's go ahead and get the seatbelt sign on. Everything else looks good. 122.8. No Atlanta's on, so we're fine. We're going to stay here. We'll watch this VNAV descent do its thing. Right now, it's at the upper limit of the speed scale, which is very common in the A320. Looks like it's catching up to the vertical deviation donut. That's good. All connections are shared at some point, yes. I do have, yes, Swarm. That's exactly what I have, yes. Swarm, I do indeed. There is another provider, but I don't know how much better it would be. And the internet that I have now is there's no contract, so I could literally say I'm done today and not have to. I'm not contractually obligated to them. But the other provider, I believe, is WOW, and I think they have a 2-year or a 1-year commitment or contract. So I'm very hesitant to sign anything. Because if I don't know what the speed is going to be during streams, like how is that legal? Yeah, Chaos, I think you're right. I think it was something to do with the weirdness of what was going on there. Right now, it's bang on, guys. We are bang on the vertical deviation. Look at this. So right now, VNAV, and I like to be in the wing view and look at all these juicy clouds and everything as we come down the approach. But we're here to test VNAV, and right now, with all the fumbling we had to do with the MCDU on our flight plan initialization, wrong transition, all that, right now it is doing a bang on job. We're right on the vertical deviation donut. We're within the econ descent window, a little bit fast, which is very common. And I say this all the time when I fly the Phoenix. For some reason, for me, the Phoenix tends to always be on the bottom end of the scale, which is very, very rare. In my experience, it's either fast or right on. And if you're a member, you watched any of those shorts videos, you saw on FMS2 aircraft just completely ignore the speed when the speed breaks out. So just Airbus being Airbus. Kevin US, thank you for the $10 super chat, my friend. Says, welcome back. Still trying to learn the PMDG. Does the 737 have a mode that is similar to open descent? Or is VNAV and vertical speed the only option? It has flight level change, Kevin. Thank you for the $10 super chat. But flight level change in the 737 is going to be your most common VNAV or managed descent and open descent. Oh, I'm sorry, open descent in the Airbus and flight level change in the Boeing. That's going to be most similar. Is it exactly the same? I don't think so, but pretty much. flight level change mode. FLCH. Filch. Spectrum hasn't been a bad company in my experience. You should definitely call them and explain the situation. Fubar, I probably will, my friend. Because when it's stable, it works fine. So like up until now, up until that hiccup, the stream has been pretty solid, right? I haven't seen any drop frames, except we dropped 10 single frames when I launched Pegasus. I think that was an anomaly. But for the hundreds of thousands, maybe close to millions of frames by now, it's been very stable. So it could be an anomaly, like Rand Ruby says. And I love not having a contract, and I love having everything set up here doing the office, and I love the office location. It's a perfect location. A little bit far from my house, but it's a great location. It's a coffee shop literally across the street. A really nice place. Food options, so it's in a good location for me to be highly productive in the V1 HQ. Look at this. Perfect.
Setting up the new office and dealing with the interneters. We all appreciate the effort you put into making these streams.
Flight Dispatch 320, thank you so much, man, for the $6 super chat. Or I'm sorry, that wasn't a super chat. How dare me? The bank angle check, right, Matt, Mr. Speedbird. And just as my token of appreciation for you, my friend, I'm going to get some Speedbirds. Speedbirds in chat for Flight Dispatch 320. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. And I'm glad y'all are enjoying the content, even though it may be a little bit spotty here initially. But I am trying. Thank you for your support, man. Appreciate it. I had Spectrum for many years, and in my experience, they do mess with the rate from time to time. Resetting modem regularly can help. Kate, interesting. I'll keep that in mind. But as far as VNAV goes, we are bang on. So let's go over here. What was our altimeter? It was 29906. We'll set 29906. That is set. A little bit of change there on the profile because the altimeter changed. That's normal. I've seen that happen. But this looks great, guys. This is looking... Look at this. It doesn't get to look any better than that. He's going to do what? Justin, there is in the technical section. Go to technical help. Anthony Teal, it did not work to reset Pegasus. I even refiled a flight plan. So, and I can see that my overlay is working. So that tells me the FSUIPC is working, because without FSUIPC, that overlay won't work. So I don't know what to tell you. Maybe I need to do maybe just the good old-fashioned close Microsoft and restart. Who knows? But we're bang on. Look, the econ descent window has shrunk down now. We're thrust idle. I'll tell you what, guys. FlyByWire VNAV is doing a good job right now. Let's do a little XP72 GoPro view. Why are you using QFE? Why am I using QFE? Am I using QFE? 29996. Oh, now I really screwed it up. It wasn't QFE, was it? How do you change it to, there we go, QNH, 29906. Was I in QFE before? Oh, 29906. Y'all are tripping. Maybe I activated, maybe my sticky mouse got it. Kevin, this is the latest experimental version. I updated it right before the stream started, so as of 2 hours ago, the latest experimental. Have I gotten used to the Victor Loop? Oh yeah, I've been flying. I've been on the Victor Loop many, many times. You know, ironically though, the Victor Loop has been closed for. It's open now, but for the last like 2 weeks it was closed, or last week at least. They were doing construction. But I just did the Victor Loop on Sunday. Oh, we didn't get to talk about my go around. Maybe we'll save that for the members only. Yeah, Chaos. That's the mouse culprit. I can't believe it's. One thing after another, man. The universe does not want me to be streaming, but look at those views. How am I supposed to not stream on that? Ali MSH exclamation point wing view will take you to a video from good friend XP72 in this very airplane. He will show you exactly how to set up wing views that I have set up right now. And once you get it bound up like he shows you in the video, you can apply it to every single airplane that you have. You can set up your own custom wing views by just using the arrow keys. The only time that you have to get a little bit more in depth is the airplanes that don't allow you to move through the cockpit door. They kind of trap you into the cockpit. Fly-by-wire being an Azobo model, it locks you into the cockpit view. So if you want to create your own views, do what the video does, exclamation point wing view. If not, there's also some default wing views from Fly-by-wire on the camera system. But exclamation point wing view, I'll get it in chat for you too. Yeah, Anthony, so DFW has Victor loop, or no, DFW has an Echo route, which is absolutely terrible, and we have the Echo Sierra route. All right, with thrust idle, we're getting ready to go through 10,000 feet, so I'm going to select speed, 250. I'm going to activate and confirm. No, I'm not. Now I am. Activate and confirm the approach phase. We'll get our lights on. Listen to that wind noise change. Isn't that cool? That's the landing lights coming out. That mouse is due for an involuntary engine inspection. It's definitely. I even sprayed it with. Even shot some compressed air in there before the stream. But it's a really. I say a nice mouse, but I really like this mouse. It sucks that it's sticking. I don't know. Who knows what could have made it stick. Maybe I should take some of those bank angle checks and invest in a new mouse, huh? You should see the other one I have. I've had it for probably... at least 10 years. At least. Of heavy use. And when I plugged it in, the left click no longer worked. So I guess the final move from Texas to Georgia was the death of that mouse. Yeah, Ali MSH. Check that video out. Trust me. Do that video and you'll be set up. Guys, let's take a look at this VNAV. We are bang on. Might be a little bit high over Daffy, but we're looking good. We are looking real good. Maybe not. 1,000 miles, 3 to go. No, it's perfect. Look at that. 3 miles, 1,000 feet. We're bang on. Fly-by-wire is showing out. Now we'll just do a little Atlanta vectoring. Spirit wings 226. Proceed direct to Perman, descend and maintain 4,000. Direct to Perman, descend 4,000. Spirit wings 226. 4,000 blue. Thrust idle. Open descent. Direct to Perman. Here we go. Look at that. Moment of silence for the mouse. QFE. That's typically used in the military, most commonly. I don't know who uses it in the civilian world. I don't think anybody in the U.S. does. There might be some unique scenarios where you need to use QFE, but that's going to be when you are on the airfield that you're on. Your altimeter is going to show 0. Jay, I am south. I am about 45 minutes south of the airport. Coming through the clouds here. Beautiful. Kevin Thomas is correct about binding the wing views for the PNDG. I agree. Use the binds, walk back to the outer layer, and then bind your wing views there. Completely clean with no obstruction. Get to enjoy the juice from the car speakers now. Ooh. Flight Force 77 is in the house. I haven't seen you in a minute, Flight Force. I am back. Yes, I am. We have some stability issues we've determined. So it's more of a stability issue with the internet as opposed to the actual speed. But as of right now, I am back. Thank you for the support, my friend. Really appreciate the 14 months of support. Glad to see you. Hope you are well, man. Oh boy, I was just talking about this gentleman over here. Bank angle check-in.
Hey, didn't know you were streaming. Happened to see the text/pic I sent? Was aiming to do that stream now, but Shaq and I doing a shared cockpit stream at 1738, so not sure if I have the time. Have a great rest of the stream. Looking for some...
Mr. Wrongside Sim in the house. Dude, I was just talking about you. I saw your text. Yeah, I was saying Wrongside text me. He wants me to do an extensive MEL procedure, but I haven't had enough to drink for that, my friend. But thank you so much for the support. $20 bank angle check, guys. If you haven't already, check out Wrongside Sim. He's going to be doing a stream at 17:30 Eastern, so that's about 3 hours from now. Shared cockpit with Shaq. Oatmeal. Awesome stuff, man. I was just saying before you tuned in here, I was just saying that we need to do a stream. I need to have you on, at the very least. I need to have you on a live stream so we can chat. I got questions for you. I know my members have questions for you as well. Get a lot of good questions. It'd be nice to have a discussion. So we got to make that work, my friend. We got to make that work. Thank you for the support, and enjoy your stream this evening. What airplane you guys doing the multi-crew in? What airplane y'all doing the shared cockpit in? All right, we're down to 4,000 feet, reduced speed at 210 knots, and I'm doing this because this is what Atlanta does, and it drives me nuts. 210 knots. We can go ahead and dim down the PFDs a little bit. I don't like 210 in the 320. It's a slippery speed, but today we're going to be all right. We'll be well below. We'll be right at green dot. 210, let's go ahead and arm the approach. Spirit Wings 226, maintain 4,000. Until established, cleared ILS approach, runway 28. Why are we not able to clear arm the approach? Approach ILS 28. Interesting. Let's get a little bit closer. We'll extend flaps 1. God, these views. I've missed this. I've missed these views. Russia uses QFE. That explains a lot. Whoa, we're getting some lightning. Is there actual lightning here? Do I need to check the radar? Did you guys hear that? Was that thunder? Did I just hear thunder in the sim? Oh my gosh. There is some thunderstorms out here. Good question. IPKO 11175. 11175 IPKU 11175 IPKU 275 3 degrees. Maybe we're too far out. Oh, now where it is 11175. Okay, maybe I was just too far out. There it is. 11175 glide slope blue low blue cat 3 dual autopilot 1+2. We're 210 knots flaps 1. Outer tank fuel is transferred. Whenever I see that come up here, just make sure that they're both transferring, which I don't. This should transfer, so this would scare me in real life. Right now, we'd have a wingtip tank transfer fault. When one wingtip tank opens, they both open regardless of the amount of fuel left in the other tank. So I've had this. The reason I check this fuel page when I see this is because I've had this failure in real life. I know this is not a failure right now. This might be a simism or a bug. But I've had the outer tip tank transfer valve not open and trap 1,520 pounds of fuel. That really just that cuts off a lot of time for your approach. So we actually declared a minimum. We actually declared minimum fuel. Landed in Cleveland, but there you go. See, it's opening now. So in real life, they open at the same time. They can only open at the same time, and they only close on refueling on the ground. But looks like it's open now. It's dumping fuel. We're looking good. And also, I don't know if it's a bug or something y'all can fix. Center tank empty. These should still be green even though they're in the closed position. So anyway, everything looks good there. I'm just nitpicking now because the VNAV works so good. So I gotta come up with something, or else I'll just think, oh, it's just a fly-by-wire fanboy. I love YouTube. All right, we're coming back to 180 knots. Look at this view, guys. You just subbed to Wrong Side Sim? Excellent, Rand. Excellent. Wrong Side, you hear that? Sending you subscribers, man. Don't tell me I never did nothing for you. Just kidding, man. No, he says, I can't do a podcast with Blue and XP and not give you some love. Exactly. We're going to be flying the PMDG 737. Wrong Side. Indeed, man. You and I, we're going to get together. Maybe I'll text you. We'll see where our schedules will align up here pretty soon, hopefully. I don't know. At least you just came off a long day stretch of working, so I'm about to start a stretch of work. But we'll get together, man, for sure. I think there was a question about the state of center indications. Chaos, yes. So even though the fuel tank pumps are on, when they reach 0, this is a normal position, even though they are closed, so they would still be green. The only time they would be amber is if the valve and the logic were out of position. So, you know, if it was supposed to be closed, like you had the pump tanks off and it was open, then it would be amber. But in this state, yes, this should still be green because it is a normal position to be green. We're coming in here barely. Let's go home, flaps 2. We're hugging at the end of the speed goal there. The fly-by-wire wipers actually wipe? Nice. Oh, look. See, this is why we do an ILS. See, you got these low clouds moving in and out of here. Oh, replay. I'm gonna slow to final right now just because. What was that noise? I just heard a noise I never heard before. I'm starting the replay. Let's go gear down. Ground altitude set 4,000 blue.
2,500.
Speed brakes armed. VFE next. -10. Flaps 3. Here we go. I'm back on for 4 starting tomorrow afternoon. Oh, wrong side. Nice, dude. I start a 3-day on Thursday. Start a 3-day on Thursday, so I'm hoping I get called for a 200%er tomorrow, but we'll see. Oh, look at that lightning strike. Flaps full. Landing checklist. Guys, if you haven't smashed the like button already, smash the like button for that lightning strike, because that was absolutely awesome.
Traffic Delta 227, Action runway 26 left by Echo.
2,000.
All right, here we go. Let's do cabin check. Bam. Oh, the seatbelts are not on. Atlanta traffic is pretty much 226 on final. Runway 28 Atlanta. Ooh, look at our speeds getting a little wishy-washy here. So I'm going to go ahead and increase. This is what flashbacks to Sunday go-around in Newark. 133 on the managed speed. All right, the views are set. Autopilot's coming off. We're going to hand fly this one. Oh, man, why are we landing 2-8? I just realized we're going to have a super long taxi. Oh, my gosh. It is choppy out here now with the lightning moving through. I love the dynamics of this sim. Landing checklist. Did we already do that? I think we did. Landing all green. Clear to land. Was supposed to ride 981 from BFM to Detroit with Chief Hammer, but no passport. Oh, man. But we'll get you that passport set up. Wrong side, and then you got to get on one of my flights, man.
1,000.
Stable, clear to land. Atlanta traffic experience 226 4 mile final runway 28 Atlanta. Whew, yeah. I really want to sneak a wing view, but I'm not going to. I guess that's what we have replay for. Ooh, there we go, getting high. So there is a burble effect in Atlanta. I don't know why. Correcting. Wow, look at that sync rate. Oh, we're losing it all. Back on stable. For some reason, landing westbound in Atlanta, there is a burble, like right where we are now. Glide sub does this weird, like
100 above.
up and down thing. Call the ball.
Minimum 200.
We're definitely going all red there. Ooh, yeah, that ran away from us. Just gonna fly on down.
50, 40, 30, 20. Retard.
Oh, jeez.
10, 5.
Spoilers? I don't know why the airport lighting isn't on. Should have the edge lights on. gonna let the auto brakes do their thing. We're at a weird time where the airport light's not on. Man, we got tossed around there on final.
And Atlanta traffic, Delta 980, 6.2 miles from Grumpy, arriving runway.
Yeah, I don't think that was a 3-wire. I think we floated that one a little bit. A 256? Yeah. Welcome to Atlanta, man. Welcome to Atlanta. That's how I feel about Atlanta Airport. Getting coffee. About a 256. Alright, do I go left or right here? Should go right, yeah. Pink Sierra Charlie, whatever it's called. I got a bunch of weird names here. Alright, let's go ahead and clean it up. Stop the recording. Probably should come out of reverse. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Okay, I get real nervous when the captain says, "What was that noise?" Glad I'm sitting in the exit row. Lol.
Callie Zimmerman, thank you for the $10 big angle check. Yes. Look, I didn't even turn the lights on. Oh my gosh. I swear, one of these days, guys, we're going to do a proper stream again. We'll do a proper edutainment stream. This is just fake pilot streaming as of late. Callie Zimmerman, thank you so much. Yeah, I heard the noise. I realized what it was. It was the little VATSIM thing. What is it called? A little radio thing over there? Yeah. So I was all distracted on that, and I was like staring at my frame drop stuff in the background, trying to see if we were going to lose any frames. And next I know, we're low on slope, we're high on slope, lights aren't on. Most important thing, the gear's down, and the airplane is not bent. So we can live to fight another day. Robert S., good to see you, man. Yes, you missed the show, dude. We're just wrapping up right now. vSpirit standards are taking a nosedive. Yeah, I'm going to have to change the title of this one. Well, you know, I was much more lax because vSpirit standards didn't apply because we didn't even have Pegasus running, so I got away with a lot of stuff. When you do fly vSpirit, there are standards, there are ways to get bonus points, and we would have not got any bonus points because we didn't do any proper light procedures, we didn't do proper single-engine taxi, we didn't do any of that stuff. So, do not use this stream as a reference. I swear, one of these days, I'm going to try to be more professional, but I'm still trying to get back in the saddle. Making sure that the stream works.
On my 27 right at
Nice
Charlie, left turn out to the east.
250-hour move on the lights, yeah, no doubt. Jeez, it's banging off right now on the Lightning.
Atlanta traffic, Delta 980.
Victor, Black 7, Pink Sierra Charlie, welcome to Atlanta. Yeah, pretty much, man. We're going to the Spiritual Wang, so I'm just I'll cross here at Sierra Charlie. No one's landing. Atlanta traffic experience 226, we're crossing 27 left, we'll hold short 27 right, Atlanta. Alright, let's go. I do like 3-day trips, Kevin. I think they're just about the right amount. They're about the right amount of time. That guy's on short final, so we'll hustle.
Yeah, first, I disarm.
Alright, how is 27 right looking? It looks clear. Atlanta traffic experience 226, we'll cross 27 right over to the ramp, Atlanta. Feels weird doing calls without in Atlanta. Like no tower. Alright, we're just going to keep the lights on as we cross 27 right here. Glad to see the Microsoft turn stutter hasn't let me down. Oh wait, no, he's taken off. Yeah, he's taken off in ghost mode, so we'll hold short. That's not on me. I looked. Good thing I double checked because that was a ghost mode takeoff. No lights. And now we'll cross. That's why you triple check. ATL is a little unknown G8 field. Yeah, I know. That's coming off. That's coming off. Back to taxi. Let's fire up the APU. We'll get that spooled up. Pilot forgets his lights. So we didn't get a gate assignment because Pegasus wasn't running, but we're probably going to be a D, Delta 2 or 4, which is ramp 4, which I probably should get the Payware Atlanta, huh? Is that Payware Atlanta worth it? I think this is just the Azobo one. We need to go to ramp 4, which is probably the one I just went past. I think so. Yeah, that's 4 south. So let's make the left turn.
2237, clear of runway 27 right.
No, Steven, they got rid of Dixie. You don't say Dixie anymore. That is no longer. All right, taxi light off. Let's go ahead and secure 2. Yellow electric pump is on. And securing engine 2. The Payware Atlanta isn't good? Okay. Well, that's all I need to know. I love the trip of that generator. That's pretty cool. We'll take this spiritual wing gate right here. Delta 2. Roll into the gate here. Looking good. Oh, man. How's that for juice view? And the thunder. Boop.
And a flat traffic, Delta 980, vacated runway 27 left, taxiing to...
That's a mouse issue.
November 5, Mike, Lima, Dixie, to gate Eco 17.
Let's do AirTran. What the hell? 5% N1. We'll get the beacon light. Should have had that off. Listen to that spool down. That spool down bass. Why is my beacon still on? There we go.
The doors are verified.
All right, now we'll come up top, and you don't want to listen to that yellow pump, so we'll do this. We'll do a full shutdown here. Pumps are coming off. Electric pump is off. External power is on. I'm going to turn the APU bleed on here just because we're probably going to do a quick reset for the replay. But here is the deboarding process. Wow, look at that. What's the reason for turning off yellow electric pump before and after engine start? What is...
Traffic, Delta 980.
Hold on.
Turning left on November 5, crossing runway.
Let me read that again. What's the reason for turning off the yellow electric pump before and after engine start? Because it's not needed once the engine is started. So you turn it off before engine start because as soon as you flip the master switch to the start position, the PTU will be inhibited and it's going to go ahead and start spooling up. If you leave the master switch off and you shut the yellow electric pump off, and your number 1 engine is running, the PTU is going to crank up and ring, ring, ring. That's why you hear it momentarily if you're doing a single engine taxi out, and then you hear for a second PTU kicks on, and then it goes away right away because the engine 2 is starting. So it has to do with the master switch position there and the pressurization of the hydraulics. And then you turn it off after, so after engine start it stays off. And then you turn it on before shutting down number 2 to prevent the PTU from going off again as well. So if you turn it on with engine 2 running and then you shut down engine 2, the yellow electric pump is already up and running and pressurized, so you don't have to activate the PTU. Man, that's a pretty cool shot right there. I almost want to take a screenshot of that. Too bad it says Southwest right there. But that's a pretty neat little shot. I guess we have to wait for the deboarding process. Maybe we don't have to. I do want to see that replay. Someone else is taxiing in here, though. Alright, so make sure our after landings are all done. That's good. Yeah, seatbelt sign should have come off. Just my sticky mouse problems for sure. Always seen guys turn it off before starting too. Yep. Rather why they turn it off rather than just leave it on before the start answers that question. Yeah, you just don't want them to be running during the startup. Wow. Look at that view. Jeez. I'm gonna make my own view here. I mean, how cool is that view? You've got the ramp door, the cargo door, unloading bags, engine, sharklets, a deltoid in the background. I was curious why you started all the extra stuff. Well, I kind of wanted to see it. Ooh, if INI builds made in Atlanta, we gotta check out the INI JFK. We do need to do a flight up there. I guess what I could do is I could just end this whole thing, right? Yeah, we're not gonna wait for a full deboarding process here. Chaos, the wobble. I did notice. I picked up on the wobble the last time it closed. That is pretty neat because that's how that's in real life you definitely see it as soon as it kind of releases that pressure, that little wobbling of the cargo door. That's very neat. But I really, I don't think we're going to stay there for 148 passengers. So what we'll do is I will end GSX. So I'll just restart KATL. And then could I trigger the door to shut by doing all this? Let's do this. I'm going to start up. On the EFB. Ooh. Oh, look at that. You see how it... Oh, man. I caught it. I kind of messed it up. But yeah, you see how it dropped, like released that pressure? That's really neat. We're not doing a second leg, unfortunately. I have a sticky mouse, and I do have to really pee. But I am going to try to update my C-160 and do something real quick in that. But actually, I don't know. With the drop of frames, I guess I don't even need to do that. So what we'll do is that I'll tell you what, we'll do a setup for another stream for tomorrow. We don't need to do the C-160 flight tonight because we know now that it's not, we know for a fact it has nothing to do with the settings of the encoder. It's really just the internet not holding stable the entire length of the stream. So I'm going to fire up these engines. We will do a replay, but I'll leave the sun continue to set so we can look at the lights. And you get to hear the engine start up again. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, our frame drop is 0. We don't need to, but do we want to? I mean, yeah, getting a good point. I go home to three screaming children. Oh, you know what? I can't. I gotta fire up the smoker. Chaos. I totally forgot. I do have to fire up the smoker. Have to fire up the smoker tonight, man. I'm trying something new. I can't get any frickin' tri-tip out here in Georgia because it's a bunch of heathens, I guess. But just kidding, just a joke. Tri-tip's not a thing in Georgia apparently. So I picked up some top sirloin caps, some prime. I'm gonna fire up the smoker. I'm gonna throw them on the smoker tonight. We're gonna do some tasty treats. So I'm gonna see how it compares to tri-tip. All right, we got 2 engines started. Let's go flaps 3, I think is when we started the recording. And then we'll do the replay. And then Chaos, we won't be able to look at the lights of someone landing at the ghost boat, I know. But I will set up a stream for tomorrow for sure. Because I want to stream tomorrow. The only reason I don't stream tomorrow is if the internet's complete crap when I come in and do my pre-stream test. And or if I get called for a 200% trip. So, here we go. Replay mode is... activating here, pausing sail, activating replay here. We're going to let it load in. We're going to let it do its thing. We're going to let the sim load. Oh, wow. Look at this. I'm just glad to see you back, V1. Looking forward to more. Hope the fam and newborn are doing well. Thank you, Caleb. Everybody is well right now. Yes, it's been It has been good, man. It's been good. Flaps coming into full. Yeah, Brad, it is because I totally forgot that. Why are we in Toga lock? Let's not do that. I totally forgot, Brad, that I need to get the smoker fired up for the sirloin top. There we go. All right, replay is on. I don't know why this is stuck up here. You're going to have to live with that. But let's enjoy a couple replay views. And I will also make sure to bring Chaos. I'll also make sure to bring my Ethernet cable, the second keyboard, and other mouse so I can have podcasting whenever that may be set up. But we will do tomorrow's stream. Night Ops tomorrow, final light. That is a great suggestion. We might do a later stream and simulate Night Ops. I think that's a good idea, final light. I'll tell you what, we'll do like a sunset into complete darkness stream. So like we kind of be taken off at this point. We have to go somewhere where there's pretty lights. Maybe, you know what? What the hell? We did the last night stream into New York. Why don't we try out the INI New York, brick our frames, brick our internet, and turn on some awesome lighting from FlyByWire? Sounds like a plan. The elusive podcast. Ooh, spooky. Yeah, I know. Podcast just, oh my gosh, that looked awesome. All right, so we're on approach. Guys, look at these views. Night Ops in the JFK? Yeah, we'll have to see if my PC melts. But that sounds like a good plan. Man, the lighting is popping off right here. I want to, let's turn up some, I like the orangish glow that we got going on here. Let me turn on a little floodlights. Oh, ooh, we still got the LEDs. Yeah. Look at that. We're going to look at the outside view. I just want to see some lighting scenarios here. Look at that. No, we're not in direct lot. We'll just clear that all off. Good deal. Should arm that. Should do that. Also should turn off the parking brake. Chaos, where are you, man? You're the one who always tells me to turn off the parking brake. There's downtown ATL. All right, let's see how we did. This was a 256. Y'all said this was a 256 on the touchdown, huh? Did it pop up then? Because I don't see it on my screen, but I know the last time it didn't pop up at all. So I think I reset the landing rate. It was hidden behind a layer. So I think Chaos said 256. We'll take a look. Where do members access podcasts? Sorry, I realized it sounds silly. I only come across them on YouTube at last. Kevin Thomas, just go to my channel, the V1 channel, and then go to playlist, and it's the V1 After Dark, but I'm going to be changing that to the Circle of Thrust podcast series. There's some cool ERGA videos in there as well, too, since everyone's all hyped up about the E-Jets. I didn't just hallucinate a landing rate. Okay, hey, you never know, man. All right. There we go. We're coming in. We get a sneak peek at the tire here. I kind of double pump flared it there. That was on me. Ooh. I've actually never listened to the reverse sounds in replay. Pretty nice. All right, let's reset the reversers. Let's pull back. Let's see how we did. Let's actually watch it. Oh man, this mouse is driving me nuts. Can you guys hear it? Like stick clicking? It's like doop, doop, doop. All right, here we go. Man, look at I love the lighting on it. Did we change that too? Did y'all change that? The external lighting? Oh, look at that shot with the sun setting right there. I'm gonna get sail going just because it's too appropriate for this view. So right here, we lost a ton of energy. Lost a ton of energy right there. Kind of milked it. Definitely came in low. Unstable. I was holding it. I could have flared more. That's all it came down to. That's all it came down to. Wow, that thunder. Not bad centerline control, though. Yeah, the lighting looks like that. The lighting looks awesome. Look at this. Oh, we never did get to hear about the go around Newark. All right, well, I'm gonna have to talk about that either on podcast or Maybe tomorrow if y'all remind me. I don't know if that was... I guess 256. It's pretty standard. I'll tell you what, the landing rate that the Fly Live plugin uses, I feel like it seems pretty accurate. You know, because you never know how accurate any of the landing rate plugins are. I don't know if there's any other ones out there, but this one seems to be pretty representative of what, you know, of what the landings turn out to be. So that was about a 256. I could have flared more. I just kind of locked it in there and held it to touchdown. But guys, it's going to wrap it up for this flight. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank y'all for sticking around. Thank you for hanging out with me through the frame drops. I know we had a frame drop session there, but hey, we're troubleshooting, we're finding out the problems, we're getting everything sorted out. I hope we'll eventually get it all sorted out and be able to be really consistent with quality content for y'all. So thank you all for the support. Thank you all for tuning in today. I will see you all tomorrow, barring, like I said, getting a 200%er trip tomorrow. Other than that, we should be live. We'll do night ops. We'll probably be back in the fly-by-wire, see some more night lighting. VNAV was absolutely perfect, so I look forward to it. Guys, until then, stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. See ya!
Traffic.